Recording.
Hi, Greg.
Greg!
Alright, so...
I think his microphone's muted. Sorry, gotta get in the mindset of the game. Here we go.
Craig doesn't talk much. He's kind of quiet.
He's a mute.
Yeah.
Lovely singing voice, though.
Hang on. How's that work? Oh, man.
Alright, so... when last we left our heroes, you guys had agreed to do 100 things. And
Yeah.
And the most pressing one was probably the fact that some hunters had run into, or nearly run into, a Hobgoblin scouting party outside of Bexlode. And they fled back to town out of fear. No one has seen Hobgoblins in this part of the world for some time. And you guys agreed to go investigate, as well as to do a few other things, including going to Tandon's Hold to accompany Giles Walda on his trip there, and to go down to the south at some point when you get the chance and investigate what's going on at Athorn Lake, the town that ordinarily delivers the fish to the giant skull and has missed a shipment or two.
Two.
Or two.
Busy,
Yeah.
busy.
Too bad I hate fish. Otherwise, it'd be quite enjoyable, and I'd be all for it.
So, yes.
I'm not sure when I would do this, but can I send a message to the one gnome tavern owner, whose brother's a cop or whatever?
Oh yeah, Arnold Wellingsway he was a halfling, and he doesn't own the place, but he works at one of the other taverns in town.
Okay, so not sure exactly when I'll do that in the game, but just whenever possible.
Yeah.
Cool.
So do we have those magic scrolls like they have in Critical Role?
Which scrolls?
Or they give him like part of the parchment and he like writes on it, disappears.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think we have that yet.
Dang it.
Yeah, not at the moment, but that would be something that you might be able to get in the future.
There you go, find some
So,
of
like,
that.
enchanted message paper.
Seems pretty important to have some of that.
Hey,
Yeah.
Andy.
One of these days.
So, as of the time we ended last time, I believe it was getting on into evening. So, whether you want to go look for hobgoblins right now is up to you. You have all of your spell slots and everything. You have nothing that needs to be recovered. And the advantage is that you could potentially have an easier time sneaking around under cover of evening as it's getting dark now, but also that could be as much of a disadvantage to you, depending on what you guys want to do.
Right. I like beating crap up, so...
And that natural 20 premonition, we don't want that to come true.
Yes.
Natural 1, sorry.
Natural one.
Natural one. Yeah.
I will try and contain myself, I promise. It was a crazy dream.
I just realized I don't have my new spell cards yet.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, me neither. Where's my spell cards? I would like some spells.
Technically, you do have a couple of spells, Daniel.
It's true. I was looking through it the other day. I was like, oh, I do have spells.
I was gonna say,
Fantastic.
We.
Well,
watch Daniel pull his finger off.
Yeah, you can only cast your spells as rituals, which means that it takes about 10 minutes, but...
holy crap.
Not a spur of the moment thing.
Yeah.
Ready? I'll cast a spell. Give me a second.
10 minutes later.
Wait.
Wait for it. Hang on, bad dudes. I'm casting a spell.
Wait.
I hate those things.
Yeah. Luckily, you probably would not ever have to be worried about, in the heat of battle, casting Speak with Animals or whatever.
It's probably a good thing.
Right.
You never know. I can be
Maybe
this
you could have
rhinoceros
talked to
charging.
the
I should have talked to you. Dang it.
Maybe you could have reasoned with the owlbear. Who knows?
Yeah. Let's talk about our feelings today. Why are you so grumpy? Oh, because a giant robot just woke you up. Okay, that makes
Yeah.
makes perfect sense. I'd be grumpy too.
So, who has the highest stealth in our group?
Not
Stealth?
me.
Let
Yeah.
me check.
Oh, I actually have +3 to my stealth. Whoa.
I have a stealth of +4.
Huh?
I have a +6. I think Heidi's has the
You turned
strongest.
off, Chris.
Yeah,
I
I
was
that
thinking
should
it
be.
might be Mouse.
Chris, you're turned off.
Yeah, probably is now.
And keep in mind that Jasu,
I have 9.
Jasu can cast Pass Without Trace, which can make you all better at stealth.
Ooh,
Nice.
yes.
So,
Man, I
and
gotta start reading these people's stats.
I have Sanctuary. So, if we just want to,
I've got Sanctuary too.
yeah. So we could like send out Chris and Mouse to go scout it out with Sanctuary. So if they do get into trouble, nothing can hurt them. Just to like see what's going on.
What is Sanctuary?
Sounds like a plan.
If
I don't think Sanctuary works if they move away from it, though, from when you cast it.
Do they have to be like within proximity of us?
I think so. I think it's within 30 feet.
Oh, is that
And then-
casting or effective?
That's casting. Once it's
Oh,
been
that's
casted,
casting.
Who got the elven cloaks?
Me.
I did.
I got one. I'm so excited.
What does that give you plus on stealth?
I have no idea. I couldn't find it.
Down somewhere. Where I wrote it down? Let me look.
I even found a copy of the player's handbook. I was like, haha, this is where I'll find it.
Is it advantage? Does it
That's
give you
in the
advantage
Dungeon
on
Master's
stealth
Guide.
check?
When the hood's up,
What?
when the hood's up, wisdom or perception checks made to see you
Where'd you
have
find that?
disadvantage. You have advantage on dexterity stealth checks made to hide. As the cloak's color shifts to camouflage you, pulling up the hood up or down requires an action. That's what I have.
Okay, so it gives you advantage, but doesn't increase like stealth.
Right.
It gives you advantage on your stealth checks and disadvantage on other people's rolls to see you when you're trying to stealth.
Okay.
And
Fantastic.
those do require attunement, so if you wanted to lend them to someone else for a while, they'd have to spend about half an hour or so.
You kidding? I'm not getting my
Yeah.
cloak.
Well,
I had
well,
still
well,
fair and square.
I was
I'm
thinking
so
more if, like,
jealous of you guys that have that cloak. I wanted it.
Oh,
I was thinking more that if Daniel puts that on, and then we do pass without a trace if we want to travel in like a group.
sneaky.
Yeah.
And then we
So
just
our-
shove Russell in the bag of holding.
Yeah. I was going to say, given that Russell is not here tonight, we can just either.
I thought
have
we
you
just
play
leave him at the
or-
inn.
Yeah.
Let's just leave him at the inn so he's not taking up space in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
He's telling the tale of how his dragonborn kindred from the years past have.
Although his gun could be
He's
handy.
just arguing with the shovel.
Oh, that's right. He's arguing with himself. He's over in a corner just muttering to himself.
Can't pull him out of it. He's just stuck in this inner conversation.
Yeah, it goes on his shoulder.
So we're going tonight then, that's what we decided. We're not going to wait till in the morning.
I'm down to check it out.
May as well. I mean, it'll give us.
Yeah,
a
I mean-
they're not expecting it.
We don't
Does anybody have a light spell?
Nope, I don't even have dark vision, so hopefully somebody
Oh,
has
hey,
something
Daniel.
close by me.
Do have night vision.
My character has like 10 torches, but I have dark vision. Should I give you like some of mine?
Oh, yes, please.
Chris, do you have dancing lights?
I do.
Dancy, dancy.
That's a light spell.
Do
Also-
we want
Oh, I lied. I have
or
torches.
stealth?
Why do I have torches and I don't know about these things?
Yeah, it would cost you key to do, but Chris can actually grant dark vision to other people for
Oh, really?
up to 8 hours. Yeah.
Hey.
Ooh, hey, hey.
I want
hey.
the dwarven belt.
How
Need
much
a nice
do you
beard.
have, Chris?
Yeah.
I have 4 key, but I need just a short rest to replenish it.
Oh, okay.
So I could
So
do
that's
it.
not too bad.
I just do it and say we just rest for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Cast
Does
it on
anyone-
everybody.
Who
And
doesn't? Who doesn't have dark vision?
Me.
Daniel
That's
did.
it.
I think it's Mouse
That's
and Spotty.
it.
Okay,
Oh,
so
Mouse has it?
I could cast dark vision on both of them and then just take a short rest.
Yeah.
I know that's technically cheating, but
It's not cheating. It lasts for 8 hours, so it's.
Ooh. Well, in that case,
They're just
Callie,
getting
hello.
used to dark vision. Like, whoa, this is crazy. All right.
It's gonna take us. It's gonna take
Well,
us
we
10
did that.
minutes to figure out what we're doing anyway. So.
so if we do want to stick to the big group, just so like in case we do get like into like an ambush, we're not like dead. We could just give them both dark vision, short rest, and then do passive out of trace.
Why don't you just
Here
do
we
dark
go.
vision right now?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we do we put dark vision on you and Mouse, and then we rest so that Chris can get his key back, and
I
then we
quickly
go.
went into
with
the near
Pass Without
nearest
a Trace.
closet, lock myself in the closet, and use my dark vision to see what's inside there because it's black. This is so cool! It's empty, but I can see every board. It's fantastic. Sorry. I'm coming. There we go.
Yeah, so yeah, if we just want to like stick in the group, I figure if Daniel has his elven cloak to help his stealth, and then we also have passes without trace, we should be okay, I would assume.
Yeah, more than likely.
True.
Does anybody struggle with stealth?
I only have a +3 as well. But I have a cloak
Okay.
too.
Really would have the biggest problem is the one that's not coming. Sameas has disadvantage on all stealth checks because of his heavy
Because of his armor.
Well,
So he's clanky.
All the more reason to leave him here.
Yeah.
You say
well, go
cranky or
check this
clanky?
out. You keep muttering in the corner.
Yeah.
You work that out.
So, Elven Cloak, one more time. It does advantage on my stealth check.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did
If
you
the
say
hood's up.
When you
If the
put the
hood's
hood
up,
up, you get advantage on your stealth checks made to hide, and people who are trying to see you have disadvantage on their perception checks.
Okay, that's. I
So-
heard disadvantage, and then somebody started
Hood's
talking.
up. Ka-ching.
So are you guys attuned to those already?
Yeah.
By this time, they got them a few days ago. So
Okay.
they're definitely-
Yeah, so they'd be attuned to them by now.
I had
I
to
did
use
have
it
another
to-
question, but I can't remember it now.
That ukulele hit.
Oh, pass without a trace. That's a +10 to each of our rolls, correct?
Yes, it's a
Oh,
plus
wow.
10 to
Nice.
plus 10 to stealth.
That's
and
really
you
good.
leave no tracks. No one can track you by magic by any means that aren't magical. If they have magical tracking, then they can find you.
Whoa. That's good.
And that applies to anyone within a 30-foot radius of Chris of Jasu. Like anyone that stays within 30 feet of him has that bonus and doesn't leave tracks and whatnot.
Nice.
So as long as you guys stick fairly close to him, there's.
I was gonna say, is there a range on this thing? But yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
What's our goal?
That's beefy. I didn't realize. That's awesome.
What was that?
It's quite a spell.
What's the goal with these things? Like, what? I can't remember what the context was. I'm sorry.
The hobgoblins?
We're gonna go check out the hobgoblins because they were in the area. And they're...
Yeah, we have to get rid of the hobgoblins so that the hunters can go out and hunt.
Is there anyone we could talk to get like a reward?
Potentially, someone might offer you a reward for it if you.
Or we could just
Save
murder
the
them
town
and
from
bring back their heads.
hobgoblins.
I feel like I can't remember what the context was. Like, I remember someone had a conversation with somebody, and they said, what was it?
Your audio's coming through really echoey, Heidi, so it's hard to understand what you said.
Maybe you start
Yeah, somebody's eating chips.
It's a Snickers, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, my apologies.
I actually am eating chips, but I'm trying really hard to be quiet.
Thank you. I win. I know my noises.
That's definitely Chris's.
In that case, get over here and we slack you in the face. You're supposed to be sneaky. Stop it. Whoosh.
So did we get a general direction from the hunters of where they were hunting?
Off to the north, I think.
Was it to
Yeah,
the
it
north?
was to the north.
To the
So are
north!
the hobgoblins preventing them from hunting, or?
The North remembers.
Yeah, they were out hunting earlier in the day, and while they were out there, they spotted a hobgoblin scouting party, and they were terrified enough to just run back to town and prematurely end before they actually got anything.
And so are hobgoblins evil, bad,
Um,
or are they just
Generally,
species
people-
that are more aggressive?
Yeah, people expect hobgoblins to be very dangerous. They have a long history of basically trying to take over the world, more or less. They
Naturally.
So are we wanting to just get them to go somewhere else, or are we wanting to see what they're up to, or are we wanting to just get rid of them?
I prefer to kill them.
What?
I think we should figure out what they're doing, though, because, I mean, if they're
Yeah.
a scout party, who are they scouting for? What's their
Yeah.
job? What are
Everybody
they
wants
trying
to
to
be
do?
diplomatic. Ooh.
Well, I think
It's
what we
kind
should
of
do is we should kind of like figure out what they're up to, yeah, and then get rid of them so the people around here at least can get back to their
Are safe, yeah.
yeah.
Make sure they're safe.
What are you defining down here?
Every sound first.
Right, so we're going?
Yeah.
I can
the
see the
north.
dark. I'm ready to
Do
go.
we- Do we want to try and hit that tavern again, see if those hunters are there, or go?
Didn't they come into Giant Skull?
Yes, they did.
You don't know, just sneak in and like go take a look. I mean, that's what she's good at, is like checking out stuff from a distance.
Yeah.
We had
I
an
think we
entire
can head out.
I
conversation.
know, but like,
We could just go you and me.
All right, I'll stay here and run back into my dark room.
those little
Floorboards
baby
are amazing.
houses are so cute, by the way.
I can hardly hear you, Heidi. Lost underwater. I heard that one.
It was so cute.
That wasn't me.
It was me. I apologize. It's such glow in the dark vision. It's fantastic.
And so to set all of that up, Jasu like puts his hands on the foreheads of Tamati and Mouse, who don't have dark vision, and
Kalima!
Let me kneel down so you can actually
That's
reach
fine,
my
sir.
forehead. Come on.
Yeah, he concentrates, and all of a sudden you get the sense that you are able to see more clearly into the shadows, even in a lit room. And so for at least the next 8 hours, you have dark vision.
Have fun in the morning.
I definitely run into the closet at this time and go, woohoo! I can see! And I wedge myself out of that closet again, going, why did I go in there in the first place? It's clearly too small for me, but it's so fantastic.
Don't head on the way out.
Oh. Let's go. What are we waiting for? Are we asking the hunters? What are we doing?
Oh,
I
I
think we
need to
go.
make a note here.
I'll make a note.
No, I just need to note that I have 34 arrows and not 20.
Ah. Yeah, I can see how those wouldn't go hand in hand there.
So Heidi, if you need arrows, I got you.
I don't know how many arrows I have.
I think you have 20.
I have 20. But
Because I know we picked some up in the dungeon. I don't know if you used them all.
I haven't been keeping track of all that stuff very well. I need to do better.
Right, while everybody's taking their time, I'm going to run down and grab something to drink.
I'm gonna go with you.
Can't say no to a drinking buddy. Let's go.
You have 30. Yeah.
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Cool. So,
So what is your plan?
Currently, I'm drinking.
so I guess that means we're in the bar, right?
Mhm.
Yes, you're in the giant skull.
Okay, so I guess we'll check. Are the hunters there?
The hunters are still here, yes. They have not left yet.
Okay, well.
They are a little more drunk than they were the last time you spoke to them, because they have been
All the better. Cool. So we'll just ask them really quick. Ask maybe the barkeeps if they know if anyone would be pays for bringing in dead animals or whatever. Because it's always nice to get money for these things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
See if there's anything worth bringing back.
Bior tells you, it's like, well, around here there's not much in the way of payment for those sorts of things, but we'd be willing to give you some pay if you can eliminate some threats. We do fairly well for ourselves here. Yes, my wife and I are a bit beyond our adventuring years now.
I don't know about that.
Shut up, Tamati. We're drinking.
Oh no, sorry. Oh, so good.
Okay. Cool. And I guess we'll just go ask the guys again really quick to see if maybe they didn't mention anything or whatnot.
Yeah, you get more or less the same thing out of them that they told you before. That they specifically don't know exactly where they were.
No, it went up my nose.
They know that they were in the woods. They were in Athorn Woods, and that they were a couple of miles to the north, maybe, when they spotted them. They're not sure of a very specific location, but they say that if you just go north a couple of miles, they tell you a couple of landmarks. Look for a hill that rises up through the woods, and they were not far from that. It rises up above the tree line, and the trees don't grow so much on the hill. It's something that would be a little difficult for you to miss out there.
Okay. Cool. Well, I guess if we're gonna do it, we can start heading out.
Okay.
Tamati, it's time to go. Come on.
Oh, what? Hang on.
Oh, hey, David, what do goblins speak? Is there a goblin language?
The goblinoids do generally speak. There's a common goblin language that is just called Goblin. Many of them do also speak Common, but they likely wouldn't necessarily be speaking it to each other.
Cool. Cool. Well, into the woods.
Let's go.
Into the woods. It's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
One more drink. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
Put it down. Let's go.
Can't put that down. It's not been empty yet. Okay, let's go.
All right.
Which way are we going?
North.
To the north.
Which way's north?
That way.
That way! I'll follow you.
All right. So, are all of you going, or only some of you going? What's the plan?
I'm
I
in.
don't know. I'm drunk.
I'll be good.
I'm going.
2 drinks in, I'm already wasted. Okay. No, of course I'm going. You
Yeah.
kidding? These guys can't take care of themselves.
We go.
Hey, Tamati.
What?
It's
Can you
like you were-
clap a hand on my back? I think I still have ale up my nose.
Better?
Tamati nearly knocks Rin over with the...
Can I help?
In fact, Rin, you take 1 HP of damage because
All
he's
right.
a little drunk and he doesn't have...
So,
Thanks,
sorry,
buddy.
you bet. Sorry. Told you. It's gonna be...
Oh, I recognize this song.
Hey, David. So, since Sadie has a familiar, does her thing also have dark vision since she has dark vision? Or no?
It's a raven, so I think it has dark vision anyway.
Oh, cool.
If I didn't have dark vision, which I do, it would have given me dark vision. Because that's how cool my relationship with my familiar is.
Cool. That'll be good.
They say I can't hold my drink. She can't even say vision.
I'm
I'm
good. Let's go.
So how long is it gonna take to get that place?
How long does
it's
the pass without a trace thing last? Should we do that now or should we do that later?
Pass without trace is up to an hour as long as he can maintain concentration on it.
So maybe later.
Yeah, maybe we go
Wait.
into the woods a little bit first and then cast it.
Like spot the hill and then do it.
yeah.
Watch
Just
for...
say it, just voicing this, and it has to be a concert spell? What dear?
But at the same time, it's like if we're
Jesse,
going
think
out,
fast.
if they were coming out, it says ambush
Shadow
all
punch.
over it.
All right, let's
So-
go. How long does
Cool.
it take to get
So
there?
We go to the woods.
All right, you begin making your way up to the north. You're not super sure of where you're going, so it takes you a little bit longer than it should just based on pure distance alone, but you make your way through the woods as the sun is steadily setting overhead. It is beginning to get darker, and by the time you have been traveling for about half an hour, 45 minutes, it's completely dark outside, so all of you are grateful for your dark vision. There is...
So cool. I can see in the dark.
Yeah, there isn't as much moonlight as you would expect tonight because it's a bit cloudy, and so only every few minutes does the moon pass from behind the clouds and light things up a little more, but you're still able to see pretty clearly. Dark vision is in grayscale, essentially, so you're not able to make out colors, except when the moon is a little more present. But
I don't need
yeah. And it takes you probably about an hour and a half in total from when you left the giant skull before you find yourself coming up on this hill, peeking up through the woods. And what would you like to do now that you're here?
Can I check the ground for tracks?
Yeah, make perception checks.
Yeah.
Would that be perception or survival?
Survival for tracks. If you're looking
I'm not
for...
very good at this, so let's pray it's a good roll.
Ooh, I've got +3 advantage on my survival.
Oh, do you want to do it?
I will check for some tracks as well. Or tracks or traps?
Tracks.
And I rolled just for perception. Just a
Okay.
general perception.
Yeah, for perception, it's just kind of looking to see if you notice
Oh,
any-
fantastic.
Notice anything.
What'd you get?
obvious.
21. Thank you very much.
Woohoo!
I am a man of the mountains. I can find anything in the dark. Now I can see.
Yeah, so I rolled a 15 in my
Guys,
perception.
it is so dark out here. I can't find anything.
Open your eyes.
Yeah, so
You're drunk, not asleep.
Shara,
Come on.
Shara notices that it's unusually quiet out here. There is less sound of nature than you would expect. There aren't any animals making noise around here, which means there's probably been someone here recently in order to drive the animal life to quiet, because normally you would hear a lot more out here in the woods. And Tamati is, as he searches around, he manages to find a very, very faint trail of humanoid tracks of some kind. They appear to be pretty large. You assume they're probably hobgoblins, but you haven't actually encountered any hobgoblins, so you're not 100% certain. But
think I found it.
suspicions
Either
are
that or
there.
it's a deer. I don't know.
Mouse might climb
No,
a
it's
tree
not a
and kind of
deer.
like
Too
look what
quiet.
happens.
Someone's been through here. Or
Huh?
something.
I've got some tracks leading off in this direction.
That's probably
But you
why.
can't see me pointing because I don't know which direction it really is.
Yeah. Yeah, the trail, as you follow it, it's a little hard to keep up with it, but you are able to follow it only because you rolled so very well. You're able to follow it, and it leads a bit further to the north.
Fantastic. To the north.
Should we do pass without a trace now, or
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we should.
Let's do it now.
okay?
Okay.
Do I need to roll for that, or-
Sorry, take it.
No, you just use 2 key points, and since you won't get a short rest at the moment, you will just not get those 2 back for a while.
Cool.
And
I don't know why I picture it like the dust of tracelessness And Grog, like, flower girling the dust of tracelessness.
Watching Grog do that. Fantastic.
I love Grog.
So Jasu makes some motions with his hands and appears to concentrate for a moment. And then there is almost a deadening sense in the air, like it is like the sound that you make is being muffled somehow. You can hear each other, but even to all of you, you sound quieter and you feel lighter on your feet, like you're not going to be leaving tracks.
How interesting.
That's an interesting sensation.
Especially for me. In the
Yeah,
dark,
Until you can
Tomatis-
fly.
fantastic.
Yeah, Tamati has not felt this light on his feet in a very long time.
That was a bit.
Since I was a toddler.
Yeah.
No, Tyler
Like-
was a big kid.
Yeah, since he was, you know, a 5'11" toddler.
I remember the days. They were fantastic.
Lead the way, Tamati.
Yeah.
Help us follow these tracks.
Okay. I'm just still freaking out about how floaty I am.
He's just like gliding. I'm a dream a baby's having.
I had a dream
so-
about this one time. It didn't end well.
Ugh.
So now I would like everyone to make stealth checks.
Yes!
And
Fuck
because
that.
of Pass Without Trace, you get a +10 to that, and anyone who is wearing their hood up with a cloak gets advantage on that.
Okay.
Why, thank you. I will enable it.
I put my hood up even though it won't help me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stealth?
The spirit of
Holy
the thing.
crap! Don't worry.
27?
I am super stealthy right now.
Oh, it's a good thing I have good stealth. That's 13.
After the +10 from Pass Without
Oh,
Trace.
nope. That's 23.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I'm like, did you roll a natural one?
No.
Excellent. Unfortunately,
And
the
whatever.
dream didn't come true. I luckily rolled a 31.
Alright.
You rolled a
I got
Floaty, I
4.
can see in the dark,
I got
and
30.
I'm looked.
What was it you rolled for that?
31.
Holy cow.
18 plus my 3 plus. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fan-
Tamati
fantastic.
belying his huge size, Tamati practically melts into the shadows. Like,
There's
Whoa.
some big trees around.
I'm
yeah.
at
I am very, very
34.
sneaky.
Like even when he does move, he is able to move in such a way. It's like he's so in tune with the woods right now that he moves in such a way that it just looks like the wind blowing a tree, and he
Like the
completely
wind!
is just blending, completely blending in.
Man, we could have brought Russell and just have him like.
Clank, 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 clank.
Yeah. So, as you are following these tracks very quietly, you make your way north, probably about 15 or 20 minutes more, and you don't see anyone on the way, although you do hear some movement off in the woods a couple of times, but when you stop to look, you don't actually see anything. You're sure there's probably something moving around out here, maybe scouting groups, but you don't want to risk trying to get too close to them. So you're just following these tracks, and eventually they lead you to an encampment that looks like it's big enough that there are probably maybe several dozen occupants here, and there's been a bit of clearing of the woods around this area to cut down some trees, and they have very, very quickly built a wall out of wooden stakes sharpened at the top. And you see that there are a number of guards walking around the perimeter. These are definitely hobgoblins. They are tall humanoids, not as tall as a Goliath, of course, but they are
Of course.
they are generally in the range of probably around 6 to 7 feet. Many of them powerfully built, and with orange skin and dark hair, orange to red. you're only able to catch notice of the color of their skin the few times that the moon comes out from behind the clouds. But this is definitely a well-guarded location, and it looks like they are set up for quite some time. Like, they built this camp with the intention of holding it here.
Curious. That's unsettling.
So, my first inclination is to run attack. We want to be diplomatic.
I think maybe we should be sneaky. I don't think we should go talk to him right now.
Hi guys.
Oh, excuse me, what are you
for chat?
here? So what's the plan here? We have
Could
to within 30 feet of
so is it like a little fort? Did you say, David?
Essentially, yeah. It's an
Could
encampment that
Loki
has...
fly around and see what's up?
Yeah, could he like go check around and see if he can?
Let me check Loki's perception himself. He could do that.
And keep
Just
in
that would be
mind
cool
that...
if-
Get a literal bird's eye view.
Keep in mind, Sadie, that when you are within 100 feet of Loki, you can see what he sees.
Yeah,
Ooh.
you could like go see if
Fantastic.
you could like hop him into like a tent, see if they have like maps or plans.
I just have to be within 100 feet of him.
Yeah, as long as you're within 100 feet, you can telepathically communicate with him. You can see and hear what he does.
Oh, I didn't think I could do that yet.
That's just always.
Okay.
lucky person.
I get some kind of like upgrade to that next level, I think.
I think next level is when you get the ability to merge with Loki yourself and go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So how big is the encampment? Can we tell?
How far are we from it?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, right now you've been able to get up fairly close without too much risk of being noticed because you're still in the trees.
It's super
So you're probably within 30 or 40 feet of it, but you are just kind of hanging out behind the tree line to make sure that the guards that are steadily doing circles around the encampment are not going to notice you.
Are there like branches from the trees that kind of creep over the encampment?
No,
Somewhere where
they-
Loki can perch?
They cleared it
no,
out
they've
pretty well.
yeah, they've closed. They've cleared out the trees up to. I say you're about 30 or 40 feet from the wall. That there are no trees between you and the wall. They've pretty much cleared everything out in order to build their wall. So
Oh, they've got a wall. I missed that part.
yeah,
He could land
Spike
on the
wall.
wall or
Yeah,
like
he could
on
land on-
a tent,
The only
or
problem
just
with landing
hop around
on the
ground.
wall is
Is there
there
like a tent? Is there like a tent that looks really important or something?
I can't see over the wall yet.
Yeah, you can't see over the wall. The wall is
Oh,
made
got
up
it.
of about like 10-foot posts.
I can almost see over it.
So are these like logical creatures?
Sounds fairly logical to me. I mean, if
Rather
they have the ability
organized.
to. I mean, yeah. Well,
Very
yeah.
emotional.
Could we like creep them out and we can think that like the forest is haunted and like
Ooh. We are super stealthy as long as we stay close to Jisu.
Can I is there a spot on the wall where it looks like Loki might not be seen?
Loki being a raven probably just wouldn't be that suspicious.
Yeah, it'd just be a bird.
Unless they're hungry. In which
Yeah,
case,
that's part of my
Like,
concern.
he
He
can fly
comes
away.
back,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
He can fly away.
and
but
I get advantage if somebody kills him. So
Right. So
Oh, I would like
not
to
really
advantage.
too bad.
yeah, I'm gonna go have Loki perch on the wall and just do like a view of the camp.
Okay.
Reconnaissance.
Yeah, Loki flies over to the wall and is not really noticed by anyone. Just another bird. There are a couple of birds around here. He's the only raven you see, but there are a couple of other night birds that are appearing around here. You hear the hoots of owls coming from within the
Mhm.
forest. And somewhere in the distance you do hear the sort of hoot-like shriek of an owl bear, but it's quite a ways off. And
An owlbear? Oh, jeez.
as
That's okay. I'm ready. I know my
Yeah.
character.
As Loki lands on the edge of the fence, you concentrate for a moment to be able to share his vision, and you see through Loki's eyes into the encampment. You see that it's very organized. There are a number of tents, enough tents to support probably maybe 30 to 40, you would think.
Oh, geez.
Like this is
Preach it, cake.
yeah, this is like it all looks very military. It looks very organized. Everyone is like most of the hobgoblins inside are not moving around much. You assume that most of them are probably in their tents for the night, apart from those who are guarding. You do see one tent that is larger, that is near the center. You assume it's probably something like a command tent where whoever's in charge is quartered.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to investigate.
And that tent would probably be just at the edge of where you could still see through Loki's eyes.
The tent itself, or like if he goes in, I won't be able to see anymore.
No, like you'd be able to. It would be right at the edge of your range for that, though.
It'd be a little blurry.
I'm gonna go have him perch on top first.
Okay.
See if you can hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. From inside, as Loki alights on top of the large tent, you hear some voices speaking in what you assume to be Goblin.
Does anybody know Goblin?
I wish
Okay.
I wish I had taken Goblin. I did not.
I skipped that day in school. Oh wait, school. I skipped school.
But you hear a deep authoritative voice speaking in Goblin, and occasionally answered by sort of an irritated sounding, higher, raspy voice. And it's mostly in Goblin, but eventually at one point you do hear the deeper voice in Common cut off the other voice and say, "No!" And then switches back to Goblin.
Contention in the ranks.
Too bad nobody speaks Goblin. Too bad I don't speak Goblin.
I could speak with
And
animals, but they're not
I've been
animals.
relaying this to everybody as I look around.
Okay.
So,
Also, real quick, make a perception check for me.
Okay, is that my stat or Loki's?
Your stat.
Okay. Perception. Mine is way better. Oh, wait. Oh, I don't have it anymore. He's not on my shoulder. Shoot. Yeah, my perception drops because Loki's not on my shoulder.
Use whichever stat is higher, his or
Okay.
yours. Whichever
I'll use
perception.
his. His is higher.
Yeah.
Bird's more perceptive than you. You must be drunk.
That's the real difference here.
Stat-wise, it's because when Loki's on my shoulder, I get to use my charisma instead of my wisdom for my modifier.
Nice.
And my wisdom is really low. So
It happens.
that's a 9.
Oh,
Okay.
fantastic.
Yeah, you don't notice. You don't notice much else about the camp. You're a little too focused on wondering what the voices in that tent were talking about, and so you don't actually immediately notice anything else about the layout of the camp.
Oh dear.
Shoot. That means I'm missing something.
So maybe you just take another flyover or something.
I feel like I'm missing something.
I'm gonna
I get this feeling.
I'm gonna have
Don't worry
him
about
perch a couple tents over and look around
Okay.
again.
All right. As
Like,
so,
Couple
which
tents
direction-
closer to us. Like
Okay.
he's on his way back.
Okay.
Couple tents over, and then he stops.
Well, you're in luck then. But as Loki is flying over, you notice that there is one area that is enclosed by essentially bars that have been driven into the ground rather than a tent. They are covered so that if there is any kind of if there's any kind of weather problem, the whatever's beneath it won't get rained on. But you assume from the look of it that this is probably like a prison, essentially.
Ooh. You should see what they have.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna have him like drop to the ground so I can look through the bars.
Okay.
Just fly casually.
Yeah.
Like casual.
I get some rocks or something.
Flying. Nevermore.
Yeah.
Nevermore!
Give it the side eye.
Yeah, Loki swoops down, and you see that the bars are driven in such a way that there are essentially 3 or 4 different cells here that are used. It's sort of like a mobile brig.
Mm,
Oh, I wish Emmett would stop.
sorry.
It's okay. But,
Somebody killed the dog. He's blowing our cover. Oh, maybe it's the Hobgoblin's dog. That explains a lot.
Just a second.
Sorry.
Good, the DM's gonna take care of it. Woohoo!
Damn it! I will
The
take
DM
that
takes
phone
care
away
of
from
it.
you.
Oh, hollow threats. I heard that.
That is not a hollow threat. I will take that bone from him. Okay. That usually works, so...
I was gonna say that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So yeah, you see that there are probably 4 separate cells here that are divided by bars in the ground, and in one of them there is a hobgoblin who appears to be asleep and is not wearing armor like most of the ones you've seen. He's dressed in just rags, and in another one opposite that, you see a young gnome, a female gnome.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Are we
She's
looking
in
for
rags
anybody?
also, the gnome?
No, she is wearing a dark green and tan cropped jacket over a simple white tunic, light leather gloves, brown canvas leggings. All of them look pretty dirty. She's very, very thin, not like undernourished. She just has a wispy frame and sort of wild brown hair and a pixie cut.
Hmm. I wish I were higher level. I could talk to her.
Well,
You could go like peck at her head.
Hmm.
Anyway.
They were by the prison testing.
So then the next question is, are we gonna go storm the castle of 40 kill you
Yeah.
dead twice hobgoblins, or are we
I'm inclined to say yes.
naturally?
were there any like weak points of entry that we could sneak in?
I've got a weak point. It's called the Adamantian Siege Maul. It breaks everything.
We can just bust through the wall.
You want a weak point? I'll give you a weak point.
Because Mouse
Surprise!
has the highest stealth and is a master at picking locks.
Yeah.
Who wants a lock? Let's alert the whole town. I'm ready for a fight.
Well, maybe that way we could get the gnome out.
How
Yeah.
big is the gnome?
You
Say
how
that
big
again,
is the
Heidi.
gnome?
How big are gnomes? Are they big or small?
They're small. They're similar to halflings.
Big bag of holding.
Do you still have Loki by that prison, that brig area?
Yes,
by the
he
way?
hasn't moved yet.
Okay, so as you're sort of considering the options before you,
Dang it, dang it, dang
you
it, dang it, dang it.
Way to
you
go.
see one of the hobgoblins that is wearing full armor coming over to the tent, and he opens a door that is hooked up to the whole thing to. He unlocks and opens a door, and hands in what looks like a very nice meal, actually, to the gnome.
What?
And he closes the door after him and relocks it, and she looks at it in kind of a bit of confusion, but begins to eat, and
Final meal! Final meal! We gotta move. We gotta act.
The hobgoblin guard that brought her this meal says in common, so you were able to understand. He speaks to her, and it says, now what does he say? I had a note about this.
Gotta fatten you up so when we eat you.
So make sure you eat it all.
Sorry, that's not my place.
But he says, look, you understand that we're only holding you because Guzamer believes that you probably are spying on us. If you would just admit the truth, then at least we could work with you. And she, through whatever she's eating here, she just kind of is, I'm not a spy. And the hobgoblin kind of looks at her and shrugs and says, fine, I'll ask again tomorrow. And walks away.
But I am surprised.
Yeah. No one suspects the bird.
Guzamer, huh? I think I want to meet this guy.
Okay, you said Guzamer?
Yes.
Okay, I should put this in my notes.
The Gobbo Boss!
Gobbo Boss. I didn't even take notes on the last session. Knew nothing. Okay.
Such an exciting session, too.
Okay.
So were there any like kind of weaker points that like maybe Mouse and I could sneak into and like try and unlock the jail?
Do I see any points of entry that they can come through?
There is a gate on each side that both gates are guarded, and there are also guards doing circuits around the wall.
Right. If you really want to go distract, I mean, I can cause a distraction.
So like 40 hobgoblins?
Sure, why not? I can take them. They're smaller than I am. It's a piece of cake.
But there's a lot more of them than you.
And just for reference, Rin, do note that meal that was brought to this gnome was very good. They're not skimping on it. They're giving her good food. It's like
Right. He seemed rather reasonable. Like he wasn't
They always
harsh or
seem that way when they want
or
something.
anything.
We could maybe like return to the town and see if anyone knows a Guzamer or whatever. Or we could just...
I mean, you have to assume that Guzamer, given that this is a hobgoblin camp, is one of the hobgoblins, and...
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do we recall having any conversations about people going missing?
Yeah. I mean, I don't remember anything, but...
I don't remember either. But of
Yeah.
course, it has been a while since I remember talking to anybody.
Yeah,
about anything.
other than Giles Walda, no one in Bexlode has notably gone missing recently.
Oh, fantastic.
So, are we wanting to get the little or the gnome out? Is that what we're trying to think about? Or
Yeah.
I think so.
At current, yeah, I mean, it's either get her out or leave her there with the hobgoblins, and hopefully they don't...
Though she doesn't
I have
seem
a
to be
disguise
apparel.
spell.
Ooh, disguise self.
Ooh.
Like, could I? But I don't know how far that goes. Could I disguise myself as a hobgoblin? Like,
Ooh.
right?
You
Or like,
might be...
clothes.
Let me look at the
That would be awesome.
spell info. Disguise self. Yeah, you can make yourself seem up to 1 foot shorter or taller. You can appear any body type, thin, fat, or in between, but you can't change your body type, so you have to have the same basic arrangement of limbs. You could make yourself look like a hobgoblin. But if somebody actually touched you, then or tried to touch you, then their hands would pass through the illusion until they actually found you, which would kind of ruin the illusion.
How's your persuasion?
That seems viable.
My persuasion
How's your goblin?
is 3. Oh yeah, that's probably all.
It's fantastic. Listen to this.
Grunt and march through.
It's actually a good idea. Just be as stealthy as possible.
You guys didn't buy a scroll of comprehend languages from Ellie.
I didn't get that. Scroll,
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Shoot.
What are you talking about? We totally did. That was Thomas.
I know I did not.
Yeah.
I don't think, at least.
Disguise.
I know we got the dispel. but-
Yeah, I got counterspell.
Yeah.
That was the one I picked up.
Yeah.
It actually is a good idea, especially if you can get in and out.
Yeah, if you can get in and out without really interacting with the other hobgoblins, it could work.
But if the gnome really is like not doing anything bad in the eyes of the hobgoblins, then he or she might not want to come with me.
At the same time, it sounds like they're trying to get information from her, and so this is just one tactic to gain information. If it's not giving her food, it's going to be something else.
Yeah.
Less appetizing.
A different persuasion.
Right.
And
because
besides,
you're
I'm hungry. I want some of that food.
Determined, but not necessarily mean right now.
Right. Exactly.
And I gather she hasn't been here very long.
From the sound of things, no.
So I hate to assume, but you know, it could get worse for her if we leave her here.
Yeah.
Hey, David, is there a guard in front of the jail?
There is not a guard posted directly there, no.
Okay. Because I could, like...
There's another hobgoblin in the cell next to her, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
a sleeping hobgoblin who is himself a prisoner.
Okay, just make sure.
Could I? Oh wait, so I don't see hobgoblins, so that's probably a problem no matter what. I was gonna say, couldn't I like ask some? I could take on the appearance of somebody important, and then ask somebody else to go get in. Is this?
Yeah,
It's
they,
not a
they
door.
would probably be suspicious of why you're speaking in common to them.
Mhm.
So,
How far is the jail from an exit?
it's the whole camp is pretty tightly close together. It's probably maybe 30 feet from one of the gates, if you could.
Because we do have drow poison. That we could, like, knock out a guard or something, and, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, we have some of this lovely wine. You could drink some, get drunk, fall asleep, then we could take all your money. Sorry.
Drow poison is an injury poison, I believe. It has to get into
Oh,
the
okay.
bloodstream,
Oh, okay.
if I remember correctly.
Any fun poisons I can make up really quick with my poison kit?
It would take you some time.
Okay.
You'd be spending probably at least an hour putting together any kind of poison, even if you could find all of the components you'd need.
What's the plan? What's the plan? I'm ready to go make
So
some
we're
noise.
like, does Mouse go in as a hobgoblin or just stealthy, or do we just leave? Are those the kind of options we're mulling over right now?
Or attack the camp.
Or attack the camp?
I'm ready.
Right.
I'm ready.
I
I
mean,
don't know what you guys are doing in here, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, we're all at full.
Against 40 baddies that are.
What's the worst that could happen? We could die.
Well, hey, what we could do is we could have a distraction while Mouse goes in
That's what I'm saying.
and pull the, pulls
Yeah,
the people away.
Let's start bad blood with the semi-reasonable hobgoblin mini horde. Yeah, let's
Sure, let's do it.
that.
I'm ready. That sounded like permission.
That was sarcasm. Sorry, my bad.
At this
I mean,
point,
we don't want to cause bad blood. We shouldn't steal their prisoner because they might think it's from the town and they might just attack the town anyway.
Hey, that gives me another chance to fight some hobgoblins. I'm ready.
at this point, you probably have about 10 minutes left of Pass Without Trace, so your stealth
Shoot.
is...
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Your
We
stealth
could
is
like make an
limited.
explosion on one side of the camp, and then while they're like, "What?" we could just.
Hey,
go
Dave.
grab-
Hey,
Oh,
David.
shit.
Does
I'm down for
Have
that.
Does
have
Pass
you
Without a
noticed-
Trace stay even if like we attack someone and then retreat?
It would, as long as your concentration was not broken.
Okay, because like
So what if
But,
we?
about this time, you do see that the guards that are circling around the camp are going inside through the gates. It must be a shift change or something.
Ooh,
Now's the time.
if
Quick,
she's gonna go, she's gotta go right now.
Distract.
Yeah.
Go.
You want me to distract? Okay. I'll run to
Are
the
we
other side of the
distracting?
camp.
Are we?
Are we distracting?
Ruda,
If it's a
Ruda.
shift change, nobody's gonna be there.
yeah, I think it's better that Mouse go in with her disguise and like
Yeah, and
Have-
that's just a backup
and then
plan.
and have like low key kind of like by her kind of watching, and if she gets into
Yes.
trouble, we attack.
It's like
Yes.
you say.
So how
It's
am I
like you're
gonna
saying. Go into rage. Don't go
Okay,
into
see
rage.
if
Go into
this
rage.
is
Go.
a girl or a boy, because I'm having trouble.
Loki?
No, the gnome prisoner.
Oh, it's a girl.
It's a
The
girl.
gnome is a girl.
So, how am I gonna get her out though? Like, it's one thing going in and talking, but like,
Loki could watch and like,
Yeah.
say, okay, go to the left.
I was gonna
go
have I was gonna put Loki up on top of the
here, guide you out.
cage
Pac-Man.
so that he can like
Yep.
keep an eye out while you like sneak in and pick the lock.
okay, so I go in, pick the lock, be like, "Hey, man," and then we leave.
Basically.
And
Yep.
try and sneak out. And that's it.
And if bad stuff goes down, we come in.
Okay,
We cause a
I'm
war.
ready. I'm ready.
sounds easy enough.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm over here
fine.
foaming at the mouth right now.
Hey,
Ready.
hey, David.
Yes.
Should let's see. Do I have any stuff yet while I'm like stealthy in shadows?
So should I
Um,
take on the disguise, or should I just go in all stealthy?
I would do it as a safe measure.
Yeah.
Put on the disguise and run as fast as you can because they're about to come out with the new guards.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, you don't have any of your like abilities yet of moving through shadows, but you have like if you can use key to cast darkness, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Although darkness is also concentration, so you can't do Pass Without Trace and darkness
Okay.
at the same time.
Okay.
A whole lot of your stuff is concentration, so you have to kind of pick
Okay,
one
cool.
thing. And
Okay. Well, I think it. Do we want to just save the gnome, or do we want to save the gnome and the hobgoblin?
It cut out, Chris. What was that?
Do we want to save just the gnome, or do we want to do the gnome?
I
We don't
think-
know anything about the hobgoblin.
That's true.
Are they prisoned together?
Separate
They're in
cells.
separate cells.
But there could be the danger that he like deserted or something. So if he turns us in, he gets like prestige back. So maybe we should just.
What say you guys?
I think you
Get
should
through
go
the gate!
and get the gnome.
Yeah, I think you
Okay.
go in for the gnome for now.
And is the distraction the fact that the people are changing?
Yeah.
Don't worry about distraction.
Just
You just
use
run
the
in
changing
and
of the guard.
Okay.
inside there.
So Mouse uses disguise self to make herself like a hobgoblin, and she's kind of disgusted at her appearance.
okay, yeah, you can shift your appearance to look like one of the hobgoblins, a little different from one of the hobgoblins you see, or you can make yourself look like a specific one of them.
Just generic.
Okay.
Good choice.
Right, so you close your eyes and make some gestures over yourself, and the rest of you watch as Mouse's frame changes to appear much closer to one of the hobgoblins that you have seen patrolling here. Also, probably about a foot taller than your natural height.
Whatever you do, don't let them touch you. Ready, go.
Before she leaves,
Don't
I'd
be
like to
looking at
cast
me.
a sanctuary on Mouse right as she leaves.
Okay.
So don't fight anybody and you're safe.
Mouse.
All right.
be waiting.
So
The best way to get over there.
Head on in.
Hey, should we have Loki kind of like flying kind of guide?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay.
that's part of the plan.
Cool.
I was gonna have Loki up on top of the
Should I
building that she
follow
wants to
Loki?
get to.
Or do you want to
Do you-
guide her, like go there and guide
Do you
her?
want him to guide you instead?
Yeah, because otherwise, I
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah,
It's best if she
Yeah.
doesn't run into any.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna have Loki guide Mouse to the prison cells.
Okay.
okay.
Well, still also kind of like keeping a tab on like
Mhm.
if there's people closer. Cool.
Now, sneak goes forward.
All right. So, Mouse, you approach the gates, and as you're walking in, you do get a couple of looks from the other hobgoblins. Like they don't quite recognize you, but they also are at the moment not too concerned about it. They're just changing shifts. They assume maybe that they've had opposite shifts from you for enough times that they haven't seen you. And you are able to break off in the direction following Loki towards the cells. And as you approach, you see this small gnome, probably just barely 3 feet tall, very thin. And she looks up at you and just kind of sighs and is like, now what do you want?
Ask what
Ah!
her name is.
What was that?
What's your name?
She says, don't you all know this already? It's Arla. Arla Bellhammer.
I don't know, but I'm a friend.
She kind of just scoffs and is like, I don't think I'm friends with any of you.
What if I told you that this isn't what I really look like?
Roll persuasion.
I got 14 plus 3, so...
Yes.
Nice.
Nice. So at first she kind of scoffs at that, and then she gets this look in her eye, and she looks a little more closely at you, and she is... You get the sense that she's kind of able to discern the illusion upon close inspection, and she still doesn't see who you are, but she can tell that you're not actually a hobgoblin. You're not actually who you appear to be.
Can Mouse cast illusion on the gnome too, so she looks like?
I only have 3 spell slots.
Is that a spell or a cantrip?
It's level 1.
Okay.
You could do that. Disguise self is not concentration, so...
Wait, what?
You could do it if you want to.
And take a spell slot?
Yeah, it would take up your spell slot, but it's not concentration, so you can do it on her and keep yours.
I should probably keep it, right? I should probably all of my spell slots all at once.
And
Well, if you
the
want to
thing
sneak out
about,
and have it quiet.
the thing about using disguise, like, what would you be using? You can't use disguise self on someone else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Cool.
got
Never
it.
mind.
And
Oh.
even if you could, she is 3 feet tall, and all the most you could make her
Little
would be-
baby hobgoblin.
She's a paraplegic. She got her legs cut off.
Yeah, like
I'll make it look like a mop, but I'll just leave.
yeah. Even if you could, the most you could make her look is 4 feet tall, which is still very short for a hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Hey, David, is Mouse still under passive other traits?
Probably not.
You're out of range, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, she's
Yeah, I
on
think
the edge
she's
of the
probably
tree line
wandered
still.
too far.
she's further than 30 feet away from you, so she's.
Okay.
So, I'd ask her, do you want to stay here, or would you like to leave?
She says, "I would rather leave."
Okay, let's
She
get out of
says
here.
they've. She says they've they've been treating me well, but I don't really like being a prisoner no matter how well I'm treated, so...
Yeah, no, I understand. And I'd like to help you either way, but would you be willing to help me as well?
If I can.
Okay. Let's get out of here.
Okay, then.
So she does whatever lock the thing is around.
Yeah, okay, roll for that.
Yeah, you will need to roll to pick the lock.
Is it D20?
Yes,
Yeah.
a d20 plus your thieves' tools skill.
She has a +9 in thieves tools.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I rolled a 2.
So that's an 11.
Okay, that is that's enough to do it. Although you do make a little bit of noise. There's a bit of rattling of the bars
Okay,
as you
could
manage to
I-
work the lock. It sticks a little bit, and you see the hobgoblin in the cell next to her beginning to
Could I-
stir.
Like, because I can do a minor illusion, right? Could I make it look like she's still there?
You can. It won't hold up to too close of an inspection because minor illusion is it only lasts for 1 minute.
Okay, better
And-
than nothing. And
Yeah, it only lasts for 1 minute and it doesn't move. So
okay, well,
Just lay it on the ground.
yeah, if you make it
Sleeping.
look like she's asleep, someone would just have to pay enough attention to see that it doesn't appear to be breathing,
okay.
but
let's do
they
that.
might not look closely enough. So
You can
Like-
use lucky and reroll.
Key and
Yeah.
reroll.
Yeah, with lucky you can reroll.
Okay, how many times can I use lucky?
Is
lucky
it 3
is
times a day?
I believe so. I think it's too late for you to use it now though because
Okay.
we already
It's already been done.
Okay,
Oh, I thought there was another thing that she was asking about. Okay.
I would check to see is there the best route to get out. I guess I would just follow the bird.
Yeah, the best way would just be back the way you came. You're closest to the gate on the southern side of this camp.
Okay, so I would follow the bird and I would put the gnome like really, really close to me so that
Okay.
Yeah, if you didn't do like
a
transporting
little, a
her.
little bit of coverage.
Because that other hobgoblin is kind of stirring, roll stealth.
Oh man. Come on, Heidi.
Are the hobgoblin guards patrolling yet?
19 plus 9.
Yes!
Nice. Yeah. So Arla didn't roll quite as well as you, but she still rolled enough. So the two of you are able to quietly get away. You see behind you, as you duck behind one of the tents and sort of glance back, you see that hobgoblin that is in the cell next to where Arla was kind of stirs, lifts his head, looks around a little bit, and then just mumbles and goes back to sleep.
Are the guards doing their rounds outside the door yet?
They are not there quite yet, but you
I'm going to run up
and
to the doorway.
Mouse and Arla do see that there are hobgoblin guards approaching. They're probably about 30 or 40 feet away and headed in this direction. They look like they're the new shift.
I'm going to run up to the doorway and just kind of post myself outside the door. And wait
Okay.
there. Just in case if they get close and I don't notice, and yeah, they're not out yet.
Okay.
Sneaky, sneaky. Run up to the door.
So you only have probably a few seconds in which you can move away quietly without being spotted by these guards.
Can I follow Daniel so the still
Yeah,
stays?
we just continue to follow the bird.
Okay. I will need you to roll stealth one more time. You do get the benefits of pass without trace this time because Jesu moves closer.
Yes!
Yeah. Oh,
So I got 16 plus 9.
What was that?
16 plus 9.
Yeah, plus the 10 from pass without trace.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
So 16 plus 19.
Yeah.
Nice.
blam blam.
Super stealth.
Yeah, so You are able to duck into the shadows and kind of roll out. And at one point, when it looks like Arla is going to step into what would be their field of vision, you manage to catch her and pull her closer to you so that she doesn't step out into the way. And you sneak out, back around. You see in front of you Jasu and Tamati, who are waiting right outside for you. And behind you, probably maybe 20 or 30 feet behind you, are the new guards. So you're going to want to move quickly out of sight.
Go, 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 go.
Okay, running.
Back.
And flight hobbies.
Cool.
Right. So you manage to make it. You manage to make it back to the tree line just as the new guards take their place.
Ooh, good job, team.
Way to go, mouse.
Nice.
Well done.
That was awesome.
And Arla looks at you all kind of strangely as just like, all right, can I just ask who are you?
We're a band of strangers from a nearby town.
We're the Emerald Wing.
We heard there were hobgoblin activities around here, so we wanted to check it out, make sure they weren't, going to cause any trouble.
Yeah.
So the real question is, why are you there?
Who are you?
Who are you? What's your
she-
story?
I'm sorry, Arla Bellhammer. I already introduced myself to your not hobgoblin friend.
Yeah, yes, yeah, she's not hobgoblin.
Are we walking away right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Are we? Or are we going to watch the camp a little longer?
I think we should be moving away from
Yeah, because they're gonna see that that's not there.
I'm going to put Loki back on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
And I'm going to pet him a little bit.
Okay.
Good job, Loki.
Yeah, she says, I just kind of do my thing. I usually stay out of the way. I gather up oddities, sell them to make enough money to get by. I was out here in the wilds when the hobgoblins started setting up camp, sweeping the area a couple of days ago, and I guess they thought I was a spy. They've been detaining me ever since. I just honestly wanted to stay out of their way.
Do you know why they came into the area?
I don't. I know their leader's name is Terak Guzamer. I don't know much else. He seemed strange for a hobgoblin. He seemed almost kind in a way.
Interesting.
He says I don't know much about hobgoblins, but he didn't seem. None of them really seemed like what I thought they were.
Interesting.
Says, I hear hobgoblins, I sort of think, raiding, stabby, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Same.
That's why we came.
That's about what we were expecting.
Yeah. Says, whatever they're here for, they're looking for something. I don't know what.
Interesting.
Right. I know it's on everybody's mind, but would they be open to diplomacy versus outright brutality? I prefer the latter, but
Arla shrugs and she says, "They might be, as long as you didn't bring me in."
Right.
well, yes. Granted, we would leave you out of the way and say, "Yeah, we came in. She wasn't spying on you. What's the deal?"
Yeah, you do note that when she introduced herself as Bellhammer, you know that is a dwarven surname, so she must be a dwelf gnome. She must be half dwarf, half elf.
I wondered.
Sorry.
Let me spell it correctly. Dwelf. I tried to spell dwelf with a B.
Yeah. like dwelf or dwelb?
Dwelf.
De Buelf.
It's a dwelf.
Instead of a W.
So, it doesn't seem like this hobgoblin encampment might be a major threat right now. If they're open to diplomacy, then they're
we
just
need to-
looking for something, they might not be a major concern right now.
Yeah. Maybe what we need to do
Is
is-
tell the people what we found out.
Well, I was going to say we need to go in and talk to the hobgoblins and figure out what
Yeah.
exactly is
Yeah, we
going on.
We should get that spell of languages.
Yeah,
Well,
that would be great.
So no matter what happens at this point,
if you're going in openly to just discuss with them, you don't need to speak their language. You heard
they'll speak to us in common. They'll speak to us in common if we go in.
Yeah, I was gonna say if at this point if we're gonna run in,
if you were going to be sneaking in, pretending to be one of them, that would have been suspicious if you were not speaking their native language, because they would have been like, "Why are you speaking?
Why are you speaking common?
Yeah.
Why are you speaking common?"
Plus, they're gonna notice that she's gone here soon, and if we're gonna make our move, that would be the time to do it before they go, "Holy crap! Somebody stole it!"
Yeah.
So, yeah, what do we want to do? Oh, I got it! I can run up. I'll talk to him and go, "Hey, I'm a Goliath. You're hobgoblins. Why should I not kill you?"
I feel like smashing something.
I feel like smashing something. Somebody said you were up here, so I'm inclined to smash.
So unless you don't want me to smash, take me to your leader.
Although they thought that the gnome was a spy.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. I know. That's what I'm saying.
And without us having talked to her, there's no way we would have known that they would be any sort of diplomatic.
It's true.
So
yeah, but now that we stole their prisoner.
That's why I go in under the guise of I'm here to make conquest.
Yeah,
we could just say,
you don't know how long it's going to take them to notice that their prisoner is missing, because they did just bring her a meal before this, and they don't have a card actively posted.
Tomati could just pretend that he's like a part of a tribe nearby, and it's just kind of like, "Hey, you're in our territory. What's up?"
You're in my territory.
This is my turf, fool.
Or I could go and be taken prisoner.
Hey,
and then get information.
In which case, they would definitely notice that Arla is missing.
That's
right.
You're going in next to this.
Hey, Tomati, what is your intimidation like?
I am awesome. Oh,
are you?
Where's my intimidation? +8 actually.
Wow.
Oh,
that's
told you I'm awesome.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
I'm not too far behind you if you
I
want
know.
some help.
Oh, what? Help? What?
I'm not too far below that if you want help.
All right. So we're doing this?
We're doing this?
What are we doing?
Are we doing?
Go for
Are
it.
we going in under the guise of intimidation?
Information. Go
Intimidation,
Goliath.
Information and intimidation.
Right. What's the plan? Just like we said. Wandering around. What are you doing in my turf? Going for that?
Yeah. I mean, you
Go
can
knock on the front door and say, "Hey, you."
I feel like
Tell me why I shouldn't smash
I
you.
just got back from my vacation. What are you doing?
This is my
Cut down my
territory.
trees.
Arla cuts in and says, I don't mean to impose, but I think that sounds like a terrible idea.
Oh, but I finally get to do something.
She just says, like, they seem to be very respectful to one another as long as no one is insulted. I think if you go in yelling about things like, why are they on your turf, they might view that as more insulting, and that might not be the best approach. So I don't claim to be any authority on hobgoblins. I've only ever met any in the last 2 or 3 days. But
I just want to fight something.
Yeah, that's all you really want.
I had 3 ales before we left. I gotta burn some energy.
I don't have an 8 in persuasion, but I have a 6 in persuasion.
I do too.
Yeah?
Yeah. So you and I...
Why would we be going in? That's my thing.
That's quite the motley crew if all 3 of us go in. Just saying.
Well...
That's gonna be hard to explain.
Yeah.
We could just...
It'd be good to go talk to them and get the information.
I mean, we could just tell them the truth, like we were sent from a nearby village because they're concerned.
To investigate. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to see what's up, because there's a village nearby and they're concerned.
And Tamati could be our muscle that they sent us with, so that we were safe in checking it out.
Right, dumb and intimidating, like always.
Quietly intimidating.
Quietly intimidating. I don't know if I can handle that one.
Try so hard.
Try some growls. Growl it out, big man.
Just tower.
Oh, I'm good at towering.
That's right.
I
Is
stretch
that
up
what we
a
want
little-
to do then?
Stretch up on my tippy toes. There, how's
Well,
that?
maybe not all of us should go, like, just in case, they don't like you.
Like with like Shara and me in the front, and then Tamati in
Oh,
the
I
middle,
got it.
kind of.
I've got it. We can be an envoy from the city. So
Yeah.
A what
whoever,
now?
whoever, an envoy. I know, big word for a giant. I'm a Goliath.
Right.
The
We could be
Goliath
a-
knows
we
more
could be a
words
party
than
from
the
the city.
Warlock does.
Yeah, right. I'm a master of accents. Never my own. God. Never mind. Anyway, what we can do?
Well,
As I change my accent
whatever you're doing, Pass Without Trace is now run out. So
That's
Right.
okay. At this point, we're going for diplomacy rather than stealth. So it
Right. We
doesn't really
wouldn't
matter.
want to be sneaky if we're
We're
coming.
far enough away with the rest of them that they can hide enough.
yeah,
What
So
time
yeah, what's
is it? What time is it at night?
8
it
o'clock.
is probably around 9 or 10 at this point.
Ooh,
So
close.
it's not like it wouldn't be completely conspicuous, like 2 in the morning or anything.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, I think I think that would work to say we've
Came
come
from the city.
peacefully to just investigate to see what's going on.
See if you're posing a threat.
Right. There was
Yes.
concern, and we're coming to address the concern.
Okay.
All right.
All right, about face. And
Wait, are all of us
Arla, do we want to point her in the direction or just let her? I mean, she's used to being on her way.
Are all of us going?
As many as want to.
Are
I
we?
mean, it's we're kind of scheduled for the 3 of us going, but
Okay, then I'll
I mean-
just stay behind just in case.
yeah, if you want to stay with Arla, maybe Jasil,
Yeah.
if you want to come be on the tree line with us, just in case things get hairy, we've got that extra backup we can run in.
Yeah.
I think I'll stay put too for a bit.
Okay.
Okay.
So could the plan be, if you need help, you'll send your bird?
Yeah, I can send Loki back.
You'll hear me raging.
Alright,
You don't sound like a Tyrannosaurus
If
Rex.
Loki comes back without us, there's trouble.
Yeah.
okay.
The secret word is Jenga. Jenga. Okay, anyway. All right, let's do it.
Okay, so let's go.
Okay.
And
So-
away we go.
As you step out from the tree line, the hobgoblins that are keeping guard at the gate do raise their weapons, but it looks like it's wariness rather than aggression. And
I'm gonna hold my hands up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wave peacefully.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grip tighter to my
calm.
Mantium siege
Yeah.
bomb.
Yeah, they take note of your giant Goliath with like heavy artillery essentially, and
I'll relax a little bit and use it like a walking stick rather than like at the ready.
Right.
okay,
Good call.
Yeah,
So it's slightly less imposing, even though I'm supposed to be toweringly intimidating over here.
We come in
Yeah.
peace. We're just here to talk.
yeah, they look at
Greetings.
you warily, and the bigger one of the two says, "Who goes there?"
We're come from Dexload. There was concern of a hobgoblin presence, and we've been sent to assess that concern.
They kind of look at each other and they say, "Are you going to cause any trouble?"
We'd
No.
rather
Only
not.
if we have to. Sorry, I
Elbow
mean,
to
no.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me, listen to them. Sorry.
He
They,
says no. I jab him in the ribs with my wrist or my
Yeah.
elbow.
They kind of look at each other, mutter something to each other in Goblin, and then the bigger one of the two says, "All right, well, I'll take you to have an audience with the Praetor."
The Praetor?
Yes, he says, "The Praetor, our commander."
Oh,
We should not have stolen the person. Sorry, go ahead.
Hey, it's a piece of cake. We know where she is.
So one of them stays posted at the gate while the other one leads you in towards the large tent. And he guides you in politely. He's not like jabbing you or anything, but he is kind of guiding you. Doesn't want you to go wandering off through the camp unsupervised.
And I don't mind. I don't mind being led. I just
Nope.
let him lead us.
I mind, but I'm being quiet about it and being intimidating.
Yeah.
Good job.
He takes you to the largest tent, and inside you see, lit by a small selection of candles. Actually, not candles, lamps. He has a couple of lamps on what is essentially a makeshift desk. You see a very tall, very broad, heavily battle-scarred hobgoblin with red-orange skin, long black hair pulled up into a top knot, and he has a broad, flat, almost lion-like nose, and he's wearing sort of samurai-styled plate armor.
You're a fighter.
Wow.
Kind of scowling a little bit. It doesn't look like he is like angry at anything in particular. It just kind of looks like that's his face.
Yeah.
Whether it's
Just
from
a
the
resting
scarring
face.
or just the general attitude of what he has to deal with.
It's
And
resting
he-
anger face.
Yeah. He looks at all of you and
I wait to be announced.
all right. He
See, that's why we brought her along.
Yeah, you did not introduce yourselves directly to the man at the gate, so he doesn't have
That's fine.
names. But this man looks over you. You get the sense that he's assessing you very quickly, and he looks between you and the guard and says, "Well, what's this?" And the guard just says, "These people were sent from Bexlode to investigate if we represented any threat." And the praetor kind of snorts a little bit and says, just like, "We haven't been a threat to anyone in a long time. But
Which is
I
why we're
understand."
wondering. Oh, sorry.
He says, "But I understand the impulse. My people have an unpleasant history, shall we say."
You got that right. Sorry.
I just kind
I
of
jab him in the ribs again.
down in front of Tamati, like, chill, visual chill.
Trying.
He kind of chuckles a little bit and looks you over and he says, "My name is Tarek Gozamer. I'm the praetor of this encampment. I am... You wouldn't be familiar with our ranks, would you?"
No, sir.
No.
He says, "I am...
No.
As a praetor, I am somewhere between governor and general. I'm one of the local authorities for the hobgoblins. And who would you be?"
I'm Zifine Crease, recently of Bexlode.
My name is Elarine.
And you notice, as you say your name, the guard that led you in kind of spits on the ground, and Guzamer gives him a sharp look.
Ooh.
That almost caught me.
And Guzamer looks back at you and he says, "I apologize for my countrymen."
Yeah.
Elves
I spit on the ground
half-elves
for certain names too.
he says,
I can understand.
"Yeah, he says, elves and half-elves are not well liked by my people. It is an old prejudice that unfortunately has been reinforced from time to time, but I think that your people are no more likely to cause trouble to mine than any other."
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I wish I were not as well.
And he nods and says, "Noted. And your Goliath friend?"
Yes. My name is Tamati Rukoha.
"Well met, Tamati. You look like a strong warrior. That is
Thank you.
He says, that's something my people can respect."
Oh, that's greatly appreciated. He liked my muscles.
Pat his arm.
Oh, thank you. It's better than an elbow in the side. Pah.
He says, "You are probably wondering what we're doing out in the open. That is, I assume, why you've been sent here."
It is. With the
It's all across the line.
unfamiliarity that we and the other locals have with hobgoblins, it was unsure what to make of your presence.
I imagine we were likely met with fear if we were noticed.
Indeed.
I find it difficult to blame anyone for that. Our history is ugly. The truth is, I don't want to be here. I think that being out in the open like this risks our lives because, unfortunately, most of the other races of Tyrileth are afraid of us. And we do not have the sort of numbers that we once had. So I personally believe that the time has come for us to find a different path. Too often we have taken the path of dominance, but my people cannot survive doing that anymore. But unfortunately, my superior, the senator, has other ideas.
So what path are you taking here?
I am taking the path of orders here. The path of orders delivered to me by the senator, who I must answer to. As much as I disagree with these orders, I think that they are risky. I hate that I don't even understand why he has posted us here. Whatever it is, it's stupid and self-destructive.
So you don't know why you're here, just that that's your orders to be here.
Our orders are to be here and find an item. I'm not at liberty to explain the nature of that item to strangers, I'm sorry.
Of course.
Honestly, I feel that even our presence here is antagonistic.
That is a bit how it's felt
Slightly.
locally. But it is surprisingly and assuringly clear that that is not your intent, which is very reassuring as you're leading this contingent.
Well, I don't want to cause any trouble, and I certainly don't want bloodshed on either side.
Oh, good.
But if you want to know why you're here, why we're here, you'll have to go above my head. He kind of looks you over and rolls very well on an insight check, kind of trying to assess who you are and if you're being honest with him. And says, look, Senator Kair is looking for something. I don't know what it is, but if you want to speak to him, I can give you safe passage to our city. To speak to him.
Where exactly is this city at?
A bit further to the north. I'd rather not give you any more details without...
Understood. Yeah, understood.
We do have other business in a few days. How long would that take to visit with Senator Kair?
Our city, Tomruk, is perhaps at most a day's travel from here. We could easily make it there in less time if I left my men posted here, although I do have concerns. If I leave my men posted here, then I will leave them in the hands of Rothiel Drafk, my fist. He's a good soldier, and I don't trust him as far as I could throw him. He is more like perhaps what you expected of us.
Let's see. Well, our first concern and foremost is the assuring the safety of the inhabitants of Bexlode. And if that's not threatened, then I don't know. Well, May I talk with my companions for a moment?
I mean, we could always.
Tara,
What was the response? We missed it.
Of
did you
course.
say? Okay. Do we just step outside for a bit?
Yeah.
Okay.
The guard does sort of keep an eye on you, but he allows you to speak amongst yourselves. He's not trying to listen in or anything.
Okay.
Good.
So we could make it to the town in less than a day, yeah?
Yes.
That's what it sounds like.
And how many days until we need to leave for the capital?
We have 3.
We have about 3 days total.
So we could probably do that if we don't run into trouble. But Tarek ensured safe travel.
I'm
So
a
it
little
seems-
I'm a little concerned about leaving the underling
second-in-command?
in charge, yeah.
Yeah, it almost seems like more of a threat to Bexlode if we leave with
With the benevolent
prisoners.
captain.
Yeah, it seems like now it would be better to leave him here, but he does seem very loyal to his orders, and if he's given orders he doesn't want to carry out, then that could also be a threat. But I kind of agree that it seems like things as they are pretty stable, though losing their what they thought was a spy might unstabilize things.
So, although you are speaking amongst yourselves, you do hear Guzamer clearing his throat from inside, and he says, "I don't mean to eavesdrop. I apologize."
Oh, why'd you
but
say that?
He says, "My ears are trained.
Oh,
They must
course.
necessarily be. As if you are concerned about leaving Dravk in charge here," he says, as much as I dislike him and distrust him, he is a hobgoblin, and hobgoblins follow orders. If I leave him with orders not to harass the town, then he will not harass the town.
Well, that is comforting.
Thank you. That was very honorable of you, Tarek. and good to know. Kind of scoot a little further away.
You hear a little chuckle from him, but
well, if there's no further threat to Bexlode immediately, maybe we should check out
Maybe we should go.
this senator and see what's going on with the hobgoblin.
Okay,
Do you think you can handle that, Tamati? A diplomatic mission?
Yeah.
He wakes up.
Another one?
I'm already here. I might as well go the whole way. It's not like you guys can protect yourselves.
We should somehow get word back to the others before we leave. Though. Okay, so should we go?
I think we should.
I think
Yeah.
we should do.
I mean, if nothing else, we can lend a hand and help them find whatever it is they're looking for.
Right,
To get them
and
out of the area
get them on
faster,
their way.
and then tensions drop, and
I
we
do
can
have to
spread
say,
the
I'm a
word.
little nervous about walking into a hobgoblin city, but
We've been promised safe passage, and it seems
Yeah.
like honor is pretty high on the value scale.
yeah,
So if we
That's
can
true.
stay cool, we should be okay.
yeah, that's true.
Was that a hint at me?
And but it's also like awesome backup plan, Tamati. You can get us out of there.
Oh,
That's true.
yeah, I can.
Stroke your pride a little bit. Okay.
Elephant's in the room. They're eventually going to figure out that the prisoner is gone.
What was that, Momo?
Oh, I said elephant in the room. Going to eventually know the
Notice
same
Yeah, prisoner's gone. Yeah.
the same night that we show up.
There's always. I mean,
But if we leave now, maybe he won't know about it until we're back.
Yeah, but at the same time, the second in command will probably notice, and he'll be like, "What the f?" And then all heck might break loose at that point, and we'd be all in
Mm.
trouble. So maybe let him know that we've got her.
Whew,
Uh,
that would be a big roll to his honor.
I know, but at that point, it's like, I don't know. It's almost. It'd be better if he found out than the second in command
That's true.
found out.
And-
So,
Although they could just think that she escaped on her own.
or we could
There
just
is
say that you guys don't know about it. If asked, you guys don't know about it, and Mouse did it on her own.
Oh, that's true.
You know, and that way, if anyone gets to fall for it, it's only one person rather than everybody.
So we have those earrings
if
of
he
communication.
doesn't see through the deception,
Hmm.
That's true.
and
He
and
rolled
my
a really
deception is
high
not
perception
very high.
check.
and my deception is not very high. My persuasion is high, but
My deception's pretty good.
I think mine is pretty good as well. Yeah, mine's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, mine's fantastic. +1.
Okay, I just won't
My
talk
deception is a
if that
5.
comes up.
My deception is 6.
Nice.
Cool.
Mine's a 4.
I thought you said your deception was good.
I said pretty good.
We need epic numbers. Okay, all right. So I say we go and ask if we could go notify our companions or something, and then go. Do we want to go back for them and bring them with us?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Do we? I mean, if we're gonna
Let's have,
try
let's
pleading
have
the
the note.
Right,
plausible
if-
deniability card, then
Yeah.
if they're the ones saying that they stole the prisoner and
That's
we
true.
don't want to know about it,
And we just
Mouse,
don't
you
even
guys don't
want
know about
to
it.
bring them into the equation.
I mean, it's
That's a good point.
there is that thought.
But then we have less numbers when we go into.
It's true,
The
but at the
city.
same
I
time,
feel less threatened going in there with him, like on a diplomatic errand.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly.
And I mean, if we're just going in there to talk and get information, and worst case scenario, fight our way out. I mean, that's. I mean, avoid
Does
that
we
at
have
all
like
costs
do we
if we're
have
in
magic that can
Hobgoblin
like
City,
teleport us somewhere?
right?
Spell of teleportation. Write that down. Somebody learn that next time.
Why do I feel like wizards and sorcerers are the only ones who can teleport?
Probably do.
Probably.
Well, what's the Scanlan? He had that magical door or whatever it was.
Oh,
It's
Dimension Door.
It's only 30 feet, but I mean, it's 30 feet.
I've got Misty Step, but that's not going to help anybody but me.
Right, I have
And,
I don't know.
and possibly Savine.
I can get through pretty fast. Okay, I think
I'm
we should
awesome.
go.
Okay.
I think we should go and not send back Loki so they know something didn't go wrong.
Or do we
And-
want to send one of us back and...
Hmm.
Just send a message and then go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
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 I missed all that,
Alright.
Chris.
What's up?
So maybe we send just a small parchment attached to like Loki's foot or something that
Oh,
says.
great idea. Because I have calligrapher's supplies. I'm sure he's got a desk. We could write a note.
I've got stuff like that too with
Okay.
me.
All right, we'll do that. Okay.
Okay.
Promptly turn around.
So I make a small note that says going to the Hobgoblin city to the north for parlay discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And I tie it to Loki's foot and send
And-
him out to deliver it to Jistu and Mouse.
Write something like situation stable.
Oh, yeah. Situation stable.
We're fine here. How about you?
Okay.
We're coming with
So
What was that?
What we figure is
We're
gonna
coming
have,
with you guys, right?
we figure we're gonna have you guys stay behind for that plausible deniability. If they find out that the gnome is gone, that you guys stole it and we didn't know anything about it.
Well, I didn't steal any gnome.
It's all on Mouse.
way to drop that one. Woo!
Yeah, but then like
I mean,
I don't know.
we could just say we don't know anything and
She could have like
could have,
escaped on her own.
Yeah, there is that also. Because
Yeah.
It's up to you. I mean, we can We can always, yeah.
Well, I
It
think
is gonna look suspicious that we show up the night she disappears.
So,
but it is the same
yeah.
timeline as the hunters sending us out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's true. It's just dancing around the fact that we also freed their prisoner just before we
Yep.
got here.
I mean, if we wanted Mouse to stay with her and take her back to the giant skull for now,
Yeah, I think so.
that way keeps Mouse out of danger, because it sounds like it could get pretty hairy in there.
Like in the game, aren't we not supposed to split up? Is that just like for quests? Whatever.
Well,
It's usually a good idea not to party.
yeah.
That looks like where we're going, David. What do you think about that, mighty GM?
You can split the party if that is what you wish to do. I would pretty much almost never recommend it, but if that's what you want to do, we can work with that.
Here's what I think, because I feel like we need all the numbers we can get in case something goes down.
Sneak her back in and
So
put her back in the jail cell. Just for the next couple days, and then we'll barter for freedom afterwards.
That could do.
I don't know. It would be harder because we have to wait for the change of guards and all that fun stuff.
Again,
and all that,
though, that leaves concern for the second in command.
But see, if he's
Because what is he going to do to the prisoner as soon as the higher up is gone?
But if he's told just to if he's told to just keep her on ice until he gets back and they figured out what to do with her, then he's gonna honor that.
Follow orders, yeah.
Speaking of the second in command,
Dang it.
the hobgoblin with the kind of raspier voice that you heard earlier comes in, kind of gives you all a strange look, and goes into the large tent and begins speaking in Goblin to Guzamer. And
Crap.
So
There it
much
is.
trouble.
it pretty steadily and pretty quickly escalates to what sounds like an argument, and
We could be in trouble.
ultimately
Don't say anything.
Guzamer finally just sort of puts his head in his hands and says something that you get the distinct impression is more or less the goblin equivalent of "fine."
Whoa.
And he calls the guard that's been sort of keeping an eye on you in, and says something to him in Goblin, and he goes to collect someone, and Guzamer
Now we're in
says-
trouble.
Guzamer says, "I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'm afraid there's been a change in plans. Dravk, my fist, has insisted on accompanying us to Tombruk.
Ooh.
And as such, I am going to have to leave another one of my men in charge."
Who would be?
And he
Sorry.
he just says, "Another one of my fists, lower ranked than Dravk," but he kind of looks at Dravk and doesn't continue, but you get the impression that Dravk and everyone involved basically was aware of the fact that that look meant yeah, I trust this other guy a little more. But
A
Good
little
deal.
more to hold down for it.
So we
Fair.
bring Crazy Pants with us. And
Which is okay, because you've got, yin and yang over here.
right.
There's no murderer's boss in the middle of the night, then we're in trouble. Don't
Okay.
think that's going to happen. So, what are we doing with the prisoner?
Well, so let's just have Arla go back to town, or leave the country, wherever she's going. Let her go,
Yep.
and then us go and see what's up with the senator.
Send her back to the
Yeah,
Yeah.
she could let the town know that the hobgoblin situation is stable and that we're
Stable, but
Pursuing further
be
investigation.
observant, just in case.
do what just in case.
Oh, that the situation's stable, but to be prepared.
be observant.
Yeah.
So just in case
I
I know they think the gnome escaped on her own, and they go into town looking kind of thing, or what?
Right. So
Just so they're not caught off guard, but they don't.
be aware, but they're not aggressive. They're not on an aggressive mission assignment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds
cool?
like a plan.
Hey, maybe we
So-
could. Hey, I figured out something. Maybe we, like, since you guys are gonna bring us along, maybe have Mouse sneak in and just try to, like, plant, evidence that she escaped on her own.
If she can sneak away.
I mean, by all evidence, it probably already looks like she escaped on her own because you didn't like lock her door behind you or anything. You left the door.
Okay.
Right, let's roll that assumption. Let's go!
So let's,
Yeah. Let's just roll under the muse that she escaped on her own.
yeah.
So I changed my note so it makes out this plan and send it to Just and Mouse.
Well, I mean, at this point, we can just say, hey, we've got a couple friends that are outside the gate
Oh,
waiting for us.
mhm. We can do that
We
instead.
sneak back, because then they're not looking at the Raven going, oh crap, they're in trouble.
That's true.
So,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we go back to Tarak and say, we would like to go and visit with Senator Kier.
Kair.
Kair. Thank you. But before we leave, we have a few companions further away that we would like to collect before we embark.
And he nods and says, if you would prefer to leave in the morning, that is also an option. If you would prefer to camp for the night, I can give my men orders to not disturb you.
yeah, it might be.
All right.
I'm a little
Do
tired
we-
after my drink.
Sleep it off tonight.
If that's permission,
Yeah.
I will take it.
I think that sounds good. So
If we
will-
sleep, can I get my 1 hit point back without spending die?
Yes.
Yes, I'm down.
Next time, hold your liquor better.
and we get spell slots back. Is that right?
Yeah, spell
Yes.
blocks back as
Yeah.
well.
So that would be good.
Yeah.
What can I do that takes a long rest? I want to do something that takes a long rest. Avalanche Assault. Dang it.
Cool.
Victor's Blessing. Dang it. Never mind. I'll just take another drink and nod off.
We'll return at sunrise to depart.
He says, I will see you then.
All right.
And he then begins to kind of, as you're walking away, continue to argue as quietly as possible with Dravkin Goblin.
We should really go get that spell of understanding.
Yes, I agree. As well as teleportation. Both of those.
How long did it take us to run here?
Probably about an hour and a half, coming up on 2 hours.
No, don't worry about it. We'll be alright. I'm tired.
Yeah.
At this point, it is late enough that Eliam would have closed up his shop a couple of hours ago anyway, so...
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that I have the gold to go and purchase it anyway.
Right.
There is that. Ooh,
Okay,
speaking
so
of, how much gold
we
do I
meet
have?
up with Mouse and Jazzy for camp.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Tell the story.
This is
Are
what
we-
happened. It was
Are we
so
camping
fantastic.
outside of the Hobgoblin Fortress?
Yeah.
Either
Is
way,
that
it
what we're
sounds
doing?
like- it sounds like if we were in there or out here, either protected, so it doesn't too much.
Gotcha.
So if we feel more comfortable being out here, then I would suggest that.
Yeah. Who wants dinner?
Oh, me.
So do we just have? So the gnome just goes back by itself, right?
We pointed back in the
Yeah.
direction of the town. Say, if you go this way for an hour and a half, you're going to meet up with such and with the what's his face, the giant skull.
Go into the giant skull.
Tell him we sent you. He'll put you up in one of our rooms, and
And
we'll be back
give
in
him
a
this
couple.
message.
That nobody sent her. That we didn't have anything to do with it. And
Yes, exactly.
right,
Plead
Right.
innocence. You escaped on your own. Don't mention our names to anybody other than. Oh crap! What is his name?
Bior.
Bior. I was like, I know it's not Boreem. Holy Bior. I was just chatting. I should know this dude. I'm drunk. Leave me alone. Oh, I rolled a 19. I am very drunk.
I'm going to grab another Mountain Dew. I will be right back.
Dew of the mountains.
Cool.
So,
So
you
next
send
morning.
Arlo back in the direction of Bexlode, and she says, "Thank you for all you've done for me. I hope
And if
you
you s-
find out whatever it is you're looking for."
Yeah, certainly. And if you're still in town when we get back, we'll ask you questions. If not, then safe journey.
She says, I hope to see you again. It feels strange to say that.
Feels strange to have that said to us.
Here, do I give her a snack on her way?
If you would like to, yes.
The loving motherly figure, yes, you would.
Here's one for the road. Send her a bit of our dinner with her.
And she is very grateful and heads off into the night in the direction of Bexlode.
Have a lovely dinner. Camp
Lovely
out under the
dinner.
stars.
Do we want somebody to take watch as we sleep?
I'll take first watch.
I will take second watch.
Do we want to have her send Sameas to us? Or no?
That's a good question.
Should we say yay or nay based on whether Russell can come next time?
Are we closing up right now?
I don't know.
What? No, of course.
I hadn't been
No,
talking
I
about
just-
it, but if we want to, we can. It's up to you guys.
I gotta go talk to the senator.
I'm good till 11.
Make faster decisions. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just head out.
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah. Just have her talk to Sameas and just say, "This is what's going on. If they need you, they'll send the bird back. It'll be faster." You don't know.
They're
That-
dead! No.
That may or may not work, because if Loki gets more than 5 miles away from Rin, he just disappears until she calls him again. So
Well, in that case, that will not work.
If
Okay.
we're not back in 3 days, that's our deadline.
There you go. 3 days.
Yeah. There we go.
I think we could do this without Shovel Talker.
Cool.
I mean, Sameas.
So
Next day.
before everybody turns in, I want to pull Zafina aside. And
Oh. That's a good point.
I wanted to have you ever done something that you know was the right choice, but it haunts you every day?
No. That would be a perplexing and difficult place to be in.
Yeah. I should have said something to her.
Who?
To Cora. I should have said something to her first.
We already tried. We did our best. You don't need to feel bad about that.
I know. Sorry.
But you-
Thanks for talking with me.
Anytime. Why does it haunt you so?
Because I know what that kind of loss feels like.
You could see.
And I just wish that I could have I wish I had been more compassionate.
Do you feel like you were compassionate in that moment?
Death takes who it will, but I should have done more.
What more could you have done?
I don't know. And obviously Rin is crying at this point.
Very well portrayed.
Allergies.
I just feel like I could have been more reassuring, more that she wouldn't be so lost on the other side. That it was a blessing rather than a means to an end.
It's can be comforting that you know that, even if she didn't. Do you think?
Yeah, I suppose.
Because we can't go back. Can't change what we did. And we did our very best in that moment. There's no more we could have done because we did all we could do. Neither of us wanted it to end how it did. But you're right. Sometimes things that are right have to be done, even when we don't like it. But it's for the better.
And I kind of cautiously hug her.
And I embrace her warmly and openly.
Itamari pulls out his ukulele.
Thank you, Zafine.
Absolutely.
Loki on Rin's shoulder croaks quietly and sort of like affectionately headbutts you in the face. Kind of like bumps you with the top of his head.
And I run a finger across the top of his head.
It's mental image of Raven just BAM!
May I?
Of course. And I pull him down off of my shoulder, kind of like cup him in my hands.
I feel a certain closeness to you, Loki. As I just kind of give him a little scratch under the chin.
Loki kind of closes his eyes and lifts his beak to make it easier for you to reach.
Mm-hmm. And I do. I feel a really specific kinship with him as a raven and my heritage and all that. It's very... It's kind of a special moment for me, too.
Yeah. And Loki is quite an accomplished mimic. He is able to mimic the sounds that he has heard. And at this point, Loki looks directly at Rin, and in a voice that sounds strangely familiar to you, but that you are certain that even though you're not quite sure where the voice came from, it sounds familiar, but you are pretty sure that if it is someone you know, that it was someone you knew before Loki was with you, and that a voice that he would not have heard, but you just hear a voice say, "It's all right."
I do, or Zafine does?
Well, both of you do.
Oh.
He speaks it.
Mhm.
Who recognizes it though? Is it me or Zafine?
You recognize it. Rin recognizes it. You can't quite place it because it is a little bit altered. He's a good mimic, but it still sounds like it is coming through the throat of a bird ultimately.
And I just kind of, oh, you're a surprising bird.
Did that bird just talk? I must be drunker than I thought. I'm going to bed. And with that, naughty.
Kind of
Fall asleep.
Okay.
imitates the sound of a few of your ukulele notes at you.
Thank you.
When Tamati goes to sleep, I'm gonna have Loki fly over behind him
Okay.
and scream out like an owlbear.
Oh, no. Oh, you are so going to get it. All in trouble. That's all I have to say. Maybe I would save you all.
Loki seems to be kind of amused by this. He croaks in a rhythm that almost sounds like he's laughing.
I'll get you, bird. Trust
Good
me,
boy, Loki.
I'll get you both.
Good one.
Just remember, he's going to save you tomorrow. I mean,
Bedtime, I think.
Mhm.
All right. So you go to sleep. You take your turns at the watch, and you're not bothered. The hobgoblins change watch a couple of times over at their camp, but they never come over to interact with you at all. All of you are able to get enough rest throughout the course of the night.
excellent.
Sweet. Reset.
And I get that point back, right?
Yes, you can have that hit point back.
Just don't cheat next time.
Yes.
Heidi was wondering about the
Pause for effect.
What?
the familiar spell.
Oh yes, if you wanted to before you go to sleep, you could take the time out to cast Find Familiar.
What?
Okay,
You have a
cool.
Do you
familiar?
have a familiar?
So do you have to
She
be
can
like
get one.
a wizard to get one, or can I as an arcane trickster?
Ooh.
Can you hear me?
You can get one by casting the spell. It depends on what you would want, what kind of animal you would want your familiar to be, what you're going to name it, that sort of thing.
Cool. That owl bear was close.
No.
I think the owlbear's too big.
Yeah, it has to be a pretty small animal. I think it can't be anything bigger than like a cat or an owl. Kind
Yeah, I
of
was thinking of just doing like a mouse because that seems appropriate.
thing. Yeah.
I had a bad experience with owlbears.
Did you see the video of the?
I did.
That's the kind of mouse you should get. It would be adorable.
Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, what was it called?
Oh, what was it called? I sent
Is it
that
called
to
like a
Chris.
wolf mouse or something?
You sent it to where?
I sent it to Chris. I will have to
So
grab
I have
the-
that one. That way, like the mouse can make
Grasshopper.
noises when in distress.
A grasshopper mouse.
Oh,
Grasshopper
it is.
mouse.
It's called a grasshopper mouse, but we were thinking wolf because they howl at the moon.
Whoa.
So
It's so cute.
That's fantastic.
let me see. Will this work if I post it in here? It's a Facebook video, so I don't know if it'll.
It came up, so.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
And if you watch the whole video, they're pretty capable little mice. They like kill scorpions and stuff.
Yeah, if you're gonna have something like, but like if familiar can't kill anything though, right?
No.
It could just, do the wolf cry thing.
Yeah. Familiars cannot attack, but they can help you out by like distracting your opponents in combat, or you can channel touch range spells through them if you have them. That sort of thing.
Okay.
They can be very useful.
So how does this work? So
If
what do
you
I need? What must I do?
Is there- I mean, I know I don't have Find Familiar, but if she's gonna do this while I'm on watch, can I help her with her
Yeah,
spell? Setting up the thing?
You certainly can.
Okay, so I'm gonna help her set up her like rooms and stuff.
Yeah,
Alright.
Mouse might have been like quizzing her the whole time, being like, "How the heck did you get this thing? I want one."
Yeah. So for a while Rin is on watch, she helps Mouse begin to draw some of the sigils and things in the dirt that you need to draw up your familiar, and you complete the ritual. It takes probably close to about an hour, but since you're just sort of considering yourself both on watch at this point, it goes fairly quickly. And you sit down in the center of the circle that you have drawn, and you
Clear your mind.
yeah, you sort of reach out and you call out for do you have a name yet for what you want your
For the
familiar
mouse?
to be called?
I haven't thought about it. To be determined.
Give it something wolf themed. That would be adorable. Since it
Yeah, I'll
howls.
look into it. I mean, I could just put something out there, but I might want to think about it. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Anybody else seen Lady Hawk?
We'll call him Wolf until you come up with a name.
Don't go there, Daniel.
Flip the mouse. The mouse has left the house. Forget his pain. He went down the drain. Sorry. I watched that the day of the eclipse. It was really funny.
Yeah.
But like, they're together. The eclipse only lasts for 2 minutes in totality. So, good luck.
Yeah, like you kind of
Let's
reach
call him
out.
Squeaker for now.
Okay.
Until you think of a different name.
Yeah, you reach out into the ley lines, the magic that connects the world together, and you sort of pluck at the lines until you feel an energy that resonates with you, and you call to it. And out of the air in front of you, this tiny little mouse appears and just kind of plops directly into your hands, looking at you, nose twitching.
Oh, he's so cute.
So, I think Mouse is just beaming. Super excited.
Yeah.
Trying to contain it though, keeping it level.
Yeah.
Call it Stuart Little. My cat reacted to that one. That was hilarious. Like Speedy Gonzalez. That's yeah.
Andale, yeehaw!
Yeehaw. Oh, you can call him the Big Cheese. Wormtail. Sorry. I found a website that has 43 fun creative names for your pet mouse. Catnip. Oh, you should totally call it catnip. That would be fun.
Nip is cute.
Come here, cat.
Oh, Nip, that's
Nip,
cute.
Nip is cute. Okay, let's go with Nip. I like that.
Fantastic. You're welcome.
Nip it is then. And Nip sort of recognizing that you have given it a name. I don't know if you want Nip to be male or female, but
Male.
okay. So recognizing that you have given him a name, Nip is very excited and sort of like scampers all over your body, up over your shoulder, around the back of your neck, back down.
How was Loki reacting?
Loki is just kind of like cocking his head, like, interesting. This is because familiars are not exactly natural beasts. Familiars are by their nature; they are always, magical in nature. They're more. It's a spirit in the form of this animal that you have, and so Nip and Loki sort of recognize each other as both being these spirit animals, not spirit animals like that raven is my spirit animal kind of. But Yeah,
Hi.
they recognize each other, and Nip sort of like scrambles up and just like dives into one of Mouse's pockets and peeks out from the top of it.
That's cute.
Awesome.
We have him.
Welcome to the party, Nip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, another mouse. I mean,
Yeah,
oh, it's
just-
such a cute little fella.
Tomati's just like, so we've got Big Mouse and Little Mouse. And
Calling you the big cheese from now on. He's the little cheese.
Please do. That's wonderful.
I'm putting that in my notes. Thank you very much.
All right, so the night goes uneventfully, other than the summoning of a new friend. And then, in the morning, the sun rises, and all of you wake up well rested.
Anybody else get the feeling that an owlbear ran around last night? Oh, that's right. It was you two. Nightmares all night long.
So do we go into the camp and meet them, or are they outside waiting for us?
Did Mouse have
Yeah,
Nip
they're-
like just run a perimeter just to like see what's around, just in case?
Okay. Yeah, there are no hobgoblins outside apart from guards. That presumably Guzamur is waiting for you.
Okay.
I can just picture it
Jordan.
now.
We
Let's see something.
gather up, camp, break camp,
Yep.
walk over.
Right.
All right. You make your way into the camp. This time you're not really even questioned on the way in, although a couple of them do give you wary looks, especially Rin and Jisu, since both of you visibly have elf blood. They are a little more wary of you. But
Don't take it too personally.
and you meet up with Guzamur, and he gathers up a small contingent to help escort you, along with Dravk, who insisted upon accompanying you. And you begin to travel towards the north. And he says, this trip may take a couple of hours. Apologies.
No problem.
Sounds like we were planning on that anyway.
We're all rather versed with traveling, no problem.
And as you're traveling, Guzamur begins to talk to you about some of the different situations that, as much as he feels comfortable telling you about things, he says, honestly, under the current circumstances, my preference would have been to continue to advocate isolationism. The hobgoblins are better off avoiding contact with others. But we've been through a lot in the last 100 or so years. And you'd say, although you don't know Hobgoblin ages, if you had to peg his age, you would probably pin him at somewhere in his early to mid 40s. And he definitely looks quite a bit older than any of the other Hobgoblins you've seen.
Interesting.
And as he kind of takes note of all of you sizing him up, as I would imagine you would be, he says, "You are unlikely to see other hobgoblins around my age. Not a great number of us in the military classes actually make it to be this age. Or rather, we didn't used to."
Well, I can imagine. I mean, whenever you get close to a city, you're hunted like dogs. If you're raiding the city, then you're hunted like dogs. It's kind of a short lifespan.
Yeah. He nods and says, Tell me, have any of you ever traveled to Fenvale?
Have I?
You probably would have passed through Fenvale at some point. Fenvale is to the north of Cheyenne-Alai,
Okay.
and it's a fairly young nation. It actually is sort of a splinter nation from Cheyenne-Alai. They
And
seceded from Cheyenne-Alai around 100 years ago.
where is that in relation to Bexlode?
It is to the east, over the mountains, the crest of Holothrain.
Okay. So you'd have to go through Gate in order to
Yeah.
get over there. Okay. Yeah, I've passed through there.
I'd say it's possible that,
Yeah, Zafine almost certainly has.
yeah.
And,
I don't even know where my character's from.
Sure. That's my hometown.
I laugh really hard, but at the same time, I am in the.
yeah, you...
I know where I'm from. I don't know where it is, but I know where I'm from.
Yeah, Jasu probably would have... he probably would have come up from the Underdark in one of the Elven territories, probably either Devera or Fenvale.
So I've probably been there?
Yeah, you've likely been there.
Okay, cool.
So,
I
yeah.
say, yeah.
And Guzamer says, it's like, have you ever heard of what were called the Amity actions?
Amity?
Yeah.
Nope.
And
Spell it for me?
his lip, Amity.
Amity. Can I do a history check? Amity
Mhm.
actions?
Yeah, roll history.
I have a question on history checks.
Yes.
Since I'm a researcher,
Mm-hmm.
it says if I don't know the information, I know where to find it. So is that like advantage?
It's not advantage, but if you don't know, like if you roll and fail, it just means that you would probably be able to go to a library or something and look up
And
the
look it up?
information. Like
Got it.
You'd know what you needed to look for to.
Okay, got it. Looking for the Amity
actions.
Amity actions. And it's a history check. I gotta find it in my card. There we go. That's a 16.
Okay,
You fail.
so you have heard of the Amity actions. Around 23 years ago, in Fenvale, their leader, the Silhir, which is an elvish word for a leader, it's sort of like almost like Fenvale's prime minister at the time, was named Daewon Temnuon, and he was kind of an extremist. The general public didn't ever find out all of the details of this, so you don't know everything, but you do know that there were supposedly some kind of actions that were intended to contact, and at least the public was told that it was essentially a diplomatic mission to hobgoblins.
Oh.
Hmm. Would I have been aware of that, being in the diplomacy circles?
You most likely would have at least heard of it, although you would have limited information.
Mm-hmm. Just that it
And,
was diplomacy with hobgoblins, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as he says Amity actions, his lip kind of curls, and he says, so if you're familiar with the Amity actions, then you know that they were meant to be diplomatic missions. And he says, well, and he kind of like points at the scars on his face, and he's just like, these are the result of that diplomacy.
Oh.
Mm.
He says, what the elves of Fenvale called the Amity actions, my people called the Great Slaughter. This is what they claimed to be diplomatic missions to try to ease relations were essentially a series of quiet reconnaissance and military actions to find our settlements, non-military settlements, our farming settlements and such, and wipe them out. It was genocide. 5 of our cities, over 100,000 non-combatants killed. We fought back as best we could, because even those of us who are not actually serving in the military, hobgoblins, all receive some training, but Fenvale's secret military lost less than 5% of what we lost. The deaths of their soldiers, who weren't supposed to be engaged in any sort of combat at all, were apparently explained away as being the victims of random skirmishes with ambushers from our side or similar. We organized the formal military and the hobgoblin priesthood, but we were severely overwhelmed. And they may well have just quietly wiped out all hobgoblins in Soretta if Temnuan had gone unchecked, but opposition within their Elenad, their parliament, discovered evidence for his expenses to fund the Amity actions. He was quickly removed from office. They apparently feared the public relations disaster that would occur if the people found out that their nation had been the aggressor in a preemptive war against a disorganized enemy who hadn't so much as bared their teeth. That their losses had come not as some sort of heroic defenders, but as raiders mowing down innocent farmers. So Temnuan was forced to resign, imprisoned without fanfare, not reported, instead of being allowed to return to his office as a member of parliament, which is typical. The whole thing was swept under the rug. Any one of the elven soldiers that didn't fall in line with the cover-up was either sent out to die against us or abruptly transferred to support Zitheni allied troops on that war with the Frost Giants in Zithen, which you may have heard of as well. I was 19, 20 at the time that the Great Slaughter began, and I fought. I was badly injured. So that is... my people have always had enmity towards the elves, and that, possibly understandably, if you will forgive me,
rightly so.
reinforced that hatred. But for me, I viewed it differently. Planted thoughts in my head that if I had spoken them before the Holy Order had fallen, they probably would have gotten me killed for heresy. The thought that maybe conquest is not our inevitable destiny, maybe it's suicide, and maybe conquest was never a worthy cause anyway.
I always thought it was a worthy cause.
I jab him with my elbow again.
Guzamer kind of chuckles and he says, "So do most of my people, I'm afraid."
What brought
I'm not
you
saying anything else.
those thoughts to think that conquest might not be a worthy destiny?
The elves of Fenvale sought conquest over us in one form or another, and all it brought was pain and death to both sides. It accomplished nothing. And the truth is that whatever we are in the world now, we can't be what we once were. If we want to survive, we cannot be aggressors any longer. The world is surrounding us, grinding us out in one way or another. And if we are crushed, then even those who still believe in the Holy Order would have to admit that we were too weak and deserved the loss. But I think perhaps it is time that we approach things from a different point of view, that perhaps we are reaching a point where we must join the conversation rather than attempting to dominate it.
Very forward-thinking of you, Gossamer, to recognize that instead of surviving or extinction, that you do have a chance to take different actions, to follow different trains of thought.
And he just kind of shrugs and says, "There is no honor in destruction, whether it is the destruction of our people or those of others, like your people. But unfortunately, our history has led us to the cusp of mutual destruction, where most people on both sides probably believe that the only way for them to live is to destroy the other."
Kind of the way we felt going into this situation. Bunch of hobgoblins, us ragtag team. Let's go get them! Woo! So, obviously, that didn't happen that way, which I'm glad.
Yeah. But as you are speaking, the conversation continues for quite a while until eventually you are approaching the foot of the mountains, the foot of the crest of Holothrain. And you are at the foot of the Scar Tower, which is the tallest mountain in the northern half of all of Soretta. It's one of the tallest mountains in the entire crest. And as you approach, it all looks like just solid stone until you begin to get closer and you see that there is a narrow but deep gully running through the white and blue stone of the mountain. And you pass into this gully, and it sort of begins to open up as you get further in. And you see in the near distance that you are approaching not just a town, but a city. A very large city.
Well,
It looks quite active. It's remarkably well hidden for a city of this size. Probably most people would not have even noticed the gully if they were not headed directly for it.
Mm.
And as Guzamer leads you through the city, you get a lot of strange looks, and you're stared at, but they see that you are with...
I'm putting my hood up.
Okay. Yeah, they see that you're with the Praetor, and they kind of hang back and let you pass through. But you see mostly hobgoblins. You see a few goblins and bugbears as well, a couple of other races, like they're here and there, an ogre.
Any drow elves?
You don't see any drow, no.
How are hobgoblins and drow?
You imagine that they probably feel about the same about the drow as they do about all other elves. That they would not.
Elves are elves, man.
Yeah. And drow very
Above
rarely
or
come
below
to the
ground.
surface anyway, so...
Sure.
But you pass by a grand building that looks to be a temple of some sort. And it looks like it's in a pretty serious state of disrepair. Like, stones are falling off of it. There's dried blood on the ground in some places around it.
Can I do a check to see if I can tell anything about the temple? Like who it's for?
Sure.
What?
Make a religion check.
I'm not going to do that one. I got -1.
13.
Yeah, you recognize symbols of Cyrenar, who is a god of tyranny and violence and that sort of thing.
interesting.
And you don't know a whole lot about Cyrenar, but you know that the general consensus is that Cyrenar was the creator of the goblinoid races.
Gotcha.
And many of the goblinoids still worship him. But you see someone in what appear to be the vestments of the whatever the Order of Cyrenar is called, like stumble out of the building, and he just kind of falls to the ground. He's a hobgoblin. There's madness in his eyes, and he's just kind of gibbering quietly.
Nothing I recognize, I'm sure.
Nothing you recognize now.
I'm kind of just gonna like reach up to my pendant and just kind of quietly pay my respects.
Yeah. And as you're passing by, Guzamer looks over and he kind of shakes his head and he says, "Honestly, for all of our disagreements, I have only pity for the Holy Order now."
What's wrong with him?
The madness took all of the Holy Order. Most of them, at least.
The madness?
He kind of shrugs and says, "I'm not sure what else to call it. It's only been the beginning of this year. All of this began. Just a second here. I think we need darker music for this discussion."
Oh, there's been a change of music. Something bad gonna happen. It's Mike.
Says, "There's, in our history, the primary centers of power in our society have been in two factions, that of the military and that of the Holy Order of Masters, the worshippers of Cyrenar who were his clerics and such. But at the beginning of the year, things have gone very wrong for the Holy Order. Something happened, and thousands of the priests and clerics of Cyrenar, everywhere as far as we can tell, not localized just to here, but throughout the world, all went mad overnight. Almost none of those who did keep their sanity survived it. Blood literally spilled out into the streets from every temple and shrine to Cyrenar as the Holy Masters either killed themselves or each other. Those few survivors are like that one. We don't know what caused it.
I don't say anything, but it makes me think of these visions that we had earlier.
Yeah. I say disagreements because the wings of our government had been drifting apart for a long time in any case. The Holy Masters continued to promote their themes of Hobgoblin supremacy, even in the face of our precarious position, while more and more voices from within the Senate, the military side, raised concerns about our race's survival. I've been one of the more active voices on that side. That division looked more and more like it was going to lead to civil war. My colleagues and I had serious fears that would end in extinction. None of us would make it out if the Holy Masters and the military went to war. But that was answered for us. Can't say I like the way it happened.
Happened.
As ugly and as violent as their faith was, I'm also a bit concerned about the fact that I fear we are to become a faithless people. I'm not sure if we will handle that in the way that would be most efficacious for our survival. many of the survivors outside of the Holy Order found their faith wavering. We've been struggling to hold things together. I am among the faction that believes that what it means to be a hobgoblin has fundamentally changed in some way. The traditionalists are still clinging to their philosophy that it's the natural order of things for hobgoblins to rule. So, unfortunately, our disagreements between factions are not likely to discontinue just because the loudest voices have been silenced. And
How much longer?
around,
Yeah. So I was going to ask how much longer until we get to the senator.
around this time you reach what appears to be the Senate building. It's a pretty large, stately building carved directly out of the stone of the mountain itself.
Boys.
And you see that it is just kind of open. There isn't a door on the front of it. It's just open for people to walk in freely. And Guzamer waves at it and says, "This is the Senate."
All right.
1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah, it just says, there was one, he was still telling you before you got here a little bit about the whole situation with the Holy Order of Cyrenar.
Mhm.
And, says, "They say no one gets to their heaven without a fight. I'm beginning to suspect that Cyrenar's heaven was not worth the blood my people spilled and lost fighting for it."
Usually don't.
This is, as some of the hobgoblins you pass kind of spit at you if they notice that some of you have elven blood.
Excuse me, I'm a Goliath.
I think that was for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
In that case, I'm standing right next door.
Guzamer says, "Honestly, I believe that if anyone was at fault for the destruction of the ancient hobgoblin civilizations, which they blamed the elves for, it was our own, my ancestors and their great civilizations, paper mansions, all of them. My ancestors thought the world was theirs to take, everyone else in it theirs to step on, and the sooner my people realize we're citizens of the world and not masters of it, the sooner we'll be able to come out of hiding. We won't have to live like this."
Yeah.
That does seem like the strongest potential path for your people.
Here we are at the Senate. If you would like to speak to Kair, I will take you in, but I will not be able to accompany you to an audience with him. I will have to stay outside, Kair and I.
Do you have any pointers? Like things we shouldn't do, things we should do, etiquette?
Yeah, we're not very familiar with hobgoblin etiquette.
Speak.
Good point.
Speak honestly. Do not offer insult.
Well, maybe I should wait out
We
here.
look at Tamadi.
Should the elves wait outside? Or
Are we insulting enough that we just need to hang back?
You may be insulting enough for some of the people of the city, but those who rule it will not regard you as such.
I'll try and keep my mouth shut.
Well, then, yes, if you could arrange a meeting with Senator Kair, we can move forward.
He nods and he goes inside ahead of you, motioning for you to stay for the moment. And his men kind of circle around you to make sure that no one bothers you, since you were promised safe passage. And he...
Are we like on a stairway?
Yeah, you're essentially on a sort of a platform outside.
I'm just going to kind of crouch down into a little ball and just wait.
What are you doing? You can't do that here.
What do you think I'm doing, Tamati?
Nothing.
I'm just sitting.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Wonder people embarrassed.
Yeah, Guzamer disappears inside, and while you're waiting, you see Drav kind of watching all of you. He's much thinner than the other hobgoblins you've seen, more of a wiry build than most of them. And probably somewhere in his mid-20s, if you had to guess.
Mm.
And he is looking at you very suspiciously. And he just kind of glances at all of you and says, "If you believe anything that one says, then our people really have become weak."
So are you a purist?
And he sort of just like nods and says, "That's a good word for it."
Yeah, I didn't think that one through. Yeah.
He looks over at Jasu and Rin and says, "If I wasn't under orders, I would have killed both of you the first time I saw you."
Alright, easy now. Easy. You have to go through me first.
I'd like that.
So do I. Maybe later. Not right now. You have much the advantage here.
It's fine. People like Guzamer they'll go away soon enough.
What's the hobgoblin watching us?
Dravk.
Well, don't worry, Drav. We're not. The both of us aren't exactly proud recipients of.
Easy, boys.
But
We may be outcasts, but we still can have manners.
Dravk sort of spits on the ground and walks away so that he's not close enough to hear the rest of you speaking. He doesn't really want to be that close to you.
I took a shower the other day. Did anybody else pick up on the won't be around for long line that he dropped?
Yeah.
I did.
Okay, just making sure it wasn't just me. What?
And
yeah.
After a couple of minutes, Guzamer comes back out, and he says, "Well, it's a bit unusual, but Kair has requested that we stay in the room during his audience with you. So
Oh,
I will
excellent.
accompany you inside, I suppose."
Right, lead the way.
All of us or just Guzmer?
Guzmer says that he's going to let all of us in, including him.
Yeah, the king is gonna, or the senator's gonna let him into the room when we meet with him.
That's what I meant. Just Guzmer or the whole?
Oh.
Yeah, the whole contingent.
Yeah. That was my question.
In that case, yes.
And so you walk into this building. It's very impressive. The architecture in here is like nothing you've ever seen. It's very grand and very... It looks like this city has probably been here for a long time, and like this building was carved out of the mountain a good long time ago.
Wow.
It's all pillars and like just sort of like metagame out of character. The impression that you all might want to sort of get is that hobgoblins are like fantasy Spartans, sort of.
Cool.
And that this is kind of, the kind of thing you would see in ancient Greece.
Sweet.
It's only a model. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so you make your way in, and you enter what sort of looks like a throne room more than anything else, although the throne is not it's not very fancy. It's pretty simple, carved from the same stone as everything else. And in it is sitting a middle-aged hobgoblin who appears to be shorter than most of the hobgoblins you've seen. He's only about 6'3", which for a hobgoblin is a bit short. He has a thick-set, strong man's build, dark orange skin, dark red-brown hair, wearing a traditional robe in dark colors, kind of similar to a kimono. And he looks at all of you and says, "So, I understand that the outsiders have come with the intention of speaking rather than killing. It's an interesting beginning. We've had few conversations with those not of our race in a very long time, and those conversations tended to be short."
The conversations we've been privileged with on our journey here have been quite rewarding, very pleasant. We're surprised and very pleasantly surprised at how well our communications have gone. And thank you so much for receiving us.
Of course. Always willing to talk to those who are willing to speak. What brings you here precisely?
We come on behalf of Bexlode. We are...
The townspeople were getting kind of nervous that we had a whole party of hobgoblins, and with the previous history of hobgoblins in the town, it's kind of trying to speed things along a little bit, if that makes sense.
We
Yes.
appreciated speaking with Gossamer about how his intentions were not in relation to the security of Bexlode, but we desired to further pursue that assurance that the long-term safety and security of Bexlode would be intact regarding your presence nearby.
He nods slowly and says, "I did not send my men out there to raid and pillage. I have no intention of doing any damage to anyone who does not directly attack us. Merely were casting a net."
Casting a net.
What are you seeking to catch?
Oh, we have reason to suspect that someone in the area has uncovered an important artifact, which I would very much like to recover.
What is it, if you don't mind my asking?
I do, actually.
Just saying, I mean, we haven't been together for very long, but we're really good at finding things. We actually found a lost person the other day and brought him back to the town, and they were very appreciative.
We may be able to expedite and facilitate your search, and I would like to roll persuasion check.
Okay.
Ooh. Being very persuasive.
And I get a total of 20.
Yes.
Nice.
Nice.
It convinced even me.
Yeah.
It's not hard to do, I'm just saying.
He gives you kind of a discerning look, and you get the impression that he almost sees through you somehow. It is unsettling. And
You're telling the
This
truth.
seems like a goblin thing.
Well, you know.
this is different than Guzamer's. Like this seems like more than simple insight. This seems like he's almost looking into you.
He's a mystic.
And but yeah, he says,
Bless you.
"Very
Thank you.
well. Perhaps I can give you some details about what it is that I am looking for. What I am looking for is a magical sphere, perhaps about palm-sized, dark lightning inside of it."
Let's get some magic here.
Oh.
Shh.
Be cool. Be cool.
That was out of character.
Yeah.
Just because you play more D&D than we do. Shush.
Tina, why are you groaning?
Okay.
Dang, I think I know what you're talking about too.
inside my mind, I'm just.
I probe a little bit more. To what end are you seeking this artifact?
That is my business.
Indeed it is.
Suffice it to say that if I retrieve what I am looking for, then the hobgoblins will retreat. The hobgoblins will do nothing to interfere.
Can I make an insight check?
Yes.
Not that it's very high, but
Can I assist him?
Yeah.
What do you do to assist?
Sorry,
Just-
I used
you
my
just-
3D
by
loaded printer
assisting,
dice.
You're both
So-
kind of reading. You're trying to read him. Maybe you're standing next to each other. You're sort of like quietly trying to whisper cues to him or something that you're spotting. Just gives him advantage on his check.
Natural 20!
Yes! Ah, yes.
I'm a
Yeah.
genius. Okay, so 21.
You get the distinct impression that he is telling the truth, but not the whole truth.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
You won't interfere with what?
With people's lives. We will. The hobgoblins will allow the people of other races to continue unmolested. They will not be harmed. We will go our separate ways.
Are there any areas that we could tell them to avoid to avoid certain to mitigate the risk of conflict?
Spread the word as a word.
So as long as no one is found to be carrying the relic away from our territories, no one will be harmed. We will allow people to pass through our perimeter and go about their business. And all we ask is that we be permitted to search. Not loot. We don't want anything. We don't want anything but the globe. That is the only thing we need.
You say it's a relic?
Yes.
Like a religious relic or...
Magical in nature.
Fair enough. I know pretty much squat about magic, so...
It's an interesting item. It's been lost for a long, long time.
Who is it lost from?
Lost by its original owner, who would like to have it back.
Gesundheit.
I'm just standing very quiet.
Right, and
He
what?
says, perhaps you would like some time to speak amongst yourselves and discuss whether you would be able to assist me.
We
Yeah,
would
yeah,
appreciate
that would be
that. Thank
great.
you.
Yes. Like, kind of just waves you away, and he says, I have some business with RealmDrift in any case.
Right, sounds good.
Draft?
He,
Yeah.
yes.
The second up?
Oh, darn.
Yep.
Yeah.
The fist.
I don't like this.
Yeah, first off,
I
that's
don't
not
like
a good
this.
sign. Not a good sign. Right. So I'm curious to make like, why do they think it's over there where they're looking at right now? I mean, do they have
Why
a
do they
chosen map?
think it's over near Bexlode?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they obviously have some history on it.
Yeah, but if it was stolen, it could have gone anywhere, and they just have to.
True.
I don't know.
That's true. But yeah, I don't like that him and Dravk, if they're buddy-buddy, and they're not gonna mess with other people, but what destruction could that could wreak plenty of havoc within their culture.
Yeah.
As you were speaking, Guzamer walks up to you looking troubled with all of his men except for Dravk.
I don't like this. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Right. Me neither.
Should we get out here and just say like, hey, we'll go, tell that to the
We'll
town.
keep that in mind.
Yeah, we'll go tell the town to kind of just like, you guys are, searching for something. Don't be worried. No, so we get out of here.
And what happens
We'll keep
when
an eye out for it on our journeyings. Or something.
If we find it, we'll let you know. Is Tarek like close by that we're talking to him?
He's standing away so as not to impose on you.
Yeah.
But he is nearby.
I was gonna say if he's close by, it's kind of like, hey Tarek, why do you look uneasy?
no, like bring him over into the circle, maybe.
Yeah,
you look a little uneasy there.
Something is not right about Kair.
Oh, good.
Oh.
So just a question.
What?
Way easy.
I have.
Can I?
Nope. You can try.
I don't understand why he would want to speak to Dravk alone.
That was my first clue too. So, just so you know,
I don't know if this is something I can do without a certain spell. Can I check for an enchantment on the senator?
Search for was it Arcana?
You can try. You'd have to at least go back to like the doorway to the room where he was, and in order to be able to.
Do I have to have the door open?
Yeah, you have to have line of sight. So even if you're like kind of trying to not be noticed, you have to be able to see him.
Send in the little cheese.
I don't have the little cheese. I have the bird.
I'm saying, I mean, we could send in a little cheese, and then she'd be like,
I volunteered the little cheese tribute.
and then you could hear what they're saying inside there.
Oh yeah, send your mouse because it's super like.
In Goblin, probably.
Well, that is true.
You could just like say the noises they're making and then see if.
See if I know what it is.
If I like.
Look through the keyhole.
Can I do that? Is there a keyhole to look through?
Well, we've got all these guards and people around us. It's not like it's gonna be inconspicuous.
How would I poke my eye through the show?
We're in the same room as Gossamer and the other guys. Gossamer,
yeah.
But we're not in the same room as the senator anymore.
Right.
Yeah, we stepped out in the hallway.
That's
Like I
the
said-
thing is I want to check for like if the senator's under some kind of a spell.
Right.
He's probably under a spell.
No.
He's probably one of the
Yeah.
natural or the
Yeah,
purists.
there's only so much you'd be able to find out just from an Arcana check, but you can give it a shot and see if you sense anything at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a try.
Yeah.
My Arcana check's -1, so not me.
Yeah.
If I have natural 20.
And while she's doing that, I'm gonna kind of tell Gusmer, while you went to go get Kair, Dravk,
That's a 19.
Nice.
he said something rather unsettling about barriers to his purist platform being removed soon. That was rather concerning.
Guzamer nods and says, well, Dravk is very much what I would like our race to move away from. He's very intelligent. He's an excellent soldier, but he is dangerous, power-hungry, ambitious. I'm sure he has designs on rising higher in the ranks.
So, Guzmer, what is your thought about this aura? Like, if your senator were to get it?
Says, I honestly don't know. I'm not familiar with what he's been... I'd never heard of the thing until he told us to find it. Nor had any of my men, nor anyone I've spoken to about it. Kair had never spoken about it until a week or two ago.
Do you know if he's been meeting with Dravk often?
If so, it's been without my knowledge. Dravk has left to report to Tomruk on occasion. He may have been speaking to him then, but if so, If so, then Dravk is going over my head.
Well, you do seem a bit out of the loop at the moment.
This is not ordinarily the way hobgoblins do things. The chain of command is very important. If he is going over my head, then it's both very suspicious and tantamount to treason. But if he's going over my head to Kair, then perhaps the treason goes deeper.
Right.
I think we might want to think about leaving.
Yeah. I mean, we'll offer our services to help you.
And then we'll just say, okay, yeah, we'll go to town, keep their distance, and we should probably get out of here.
Yeah. We don't need to know what they talk about. We're ready to go. Thank you.
Is Rin still near the door, by the way?
Well, you never told me what I got on my 19.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You definitely get the strong impression that there is magical energy around Kair. You're not certain of the nature of it, but it seems very powerful.
Oh, we're still...
And as you are sitting there, you can kind of just barely hear what they're saying, and it strikes you that what they are saying is not being spoken in Goblin. It's being spoken in Draconic.
No!
Draconic.
I need Draconic over here right now.
Okay, I run over to her.
Go for it. You're more stealthy.
Cool. Should I stealth roll or just go?
Just go. You're still out in the hallway. Nobody's paying really that close attention, so...
Okay,
Yeah.
Cool. I go over to the door.
Draconic, what the...
All right.
We'll just scoot the circle a little closer to the door.
Yeah. In Draconic, you hear that Kair is saying, well, I begin to suspect that Praetor Guzamer's usefulness is coming to an end.
I knew it.
I'm repeating this slowly.
Yeah.
I knew it,
And
I knew it.
Dravk says, one of the men that is more loyal to me than Guzamer went over to their camp during the middle of the night and went through their things. I am almost certain that one of them carries the item you're looking for.
Dang it! I knew it.
Dag it!
And
But we had a
Kair,
watch. How did he do
like, Kair, yeah, you're not sure how it happened, but it
Had
happened.
somebody on watch all night. What the hey?
But Kair smiles and closes his eyes,
Sure, I was asleep.
and he says, "Good, good. In that case, Dravk, my friend, you have also outlived your usefulness." And Dravk kind of like looks around in confusion, and Kair holds out both of his hands, and a blast of electricity, wind and lightning bursts out of him as his entire body fades from this form of a hobgoblin and turns into wind and lightning that is barely contained into a semi-humanoid shape. And it just, these bolts of lightning shoot out towards Dravk and electrocute him. His smoking body falls to the ground. And Kair calls out in common now, "I think I will be taking now what you have brought to me."
Boss fight!
Shoot!
All right, whose idea was it to not go back and get the scroll of teleportation? Come on.
And Guzamer has kind of gotten wind of what's happening. He looked and saw Kair just kill Dravk and then turn into something.
Is he not Hobgoblin anymore then?
Kair? No, he is some kind of being
Is he
of
an
energy.
elemental?
You're not sure. He is some kind of energy being
It was
made of
like-
wind and lightning.
It was like a
Because
disguise spell? Then?
It was something. You're not sure what it was.
I'll say it was something.
Do I recognize anything about his form? Because my mom's an air element.
Elemental.
There is definitely raw elemental
Are you
power
drunk?
about him, but he is unlike any elemental you've ever seen.
Okay. Ooh.
And Guzamer immediately draws his sword. And
Well,
says,
Yay, Guzamer, home team!
We're in it now.
and all of his men draw their weapons as well.
Yeah. Same team.
And
Don't
Is
say
this-
it. Don't say it.
Guzamer looks over at Kair and says, "Whatever you are, whatever you have done with the senator, you are not going to be the thing that ends my people, and you are not going to be the thing that opens the world to us this way." And Kair's voice comes out from this strange elemental form, and there's this laugh. "Guards! These outsiders killed Rothil Dravk!"
That's a lie! It's a lie!
and
I thought they could listen to Goliath. They might.
from outside, you begin to hear the steps. And as some
I wish I
hobgoblins
had
approach
thaumaturgy
from
right
outside.
now.
So, but what if the guards come and see this crazy lightning thing?
You have no idea what's going to happen as far as that goes.
No, I'm consulting the group.
Yeah.
At this point, it's his word versus ours.
But he's not the senator!
He could maybe. I don't know.
He does begin to reform into the
Ah,
form of the senator because he's
Ah, I
obviously
figured
trying to.
Alright,
Oh.
Guzamer,
so
how do we get out of here?
I suspect that our only way to get out is to fight our way out.
That's what I was worried
I've
about.
been waiting for this.
He says, as much as it pains
I-
me to kill my countrymen, I suspect that Kair or whatever that is has compromised them.
I'm gonna roll up my sleeves as much as I guess I can't really. I'm gonna like push my robe back and pull my hood down and kind of like get into like a stance like, okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
I pick up my siege maul in both hands and just bring it.
Okay.
All right, and that is where we will pick up next time.
Dang it!
Perfect.
Sorry, Emmett.
I figured it's getting away before a big fight. Is
Don't
probably...
say it, don't. No! Curse you!
You knew it was coming.
Oh! I hate this.
We gotta fight a
Tune
little
in next week.
lightning boss.
Oh, crap.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this for a while, because you guys were all just expecting it to be this straightforward, we're going to go in and kill the hobgoblins thing, and I was just like, oh, it's not that simple.
Oh, my gosh.
I was ready. I'm ready. Piece of cake. Yeah, I'm going to survive. 40 of them? Yeah, who cares? Bring it on.
And then
like, let's just
somebody's
sneak
like-
in with the raven. I'm like, oh, okay.
And then afterwards, you're like, well, we should probably try diplomacy.
Well, it's because that's what you guys all. I'm sick and tired of getting jabbed in the ribs.
That was before you, or that was after you suggested diplomacy.
Well, regardless, I'm sick and tired of getting jabbed in the ribs. Actually, I guess do more of the hip at that point.
Yeah.
All
Alright,
hip
I'm going to end
replacement.
the recording, so everybody say goodbye to Craig.
Bye, Craig!